Merry Stewmas.
Mary Stewmas. I love it. I don't have a Mary Stewmas. Come on.
What?
I'm
You?
out in the cold here, man.
Oh man, if you really want to marry Stewmas, check this out. 1 second here. Look at that.
Ooh, that's sparkly. I
Kind of
like that.
matches, right? Kind of
Yeah,
matches.
that's fancy. That's too fancy for me, for sure. Well, yo, YouTube. Welcome back to Live with Charlie and Stu and myself, the Dollar Box Christmas edition, Holidays edition, whatever you want to call it. This will be our final show of 2024. Can you believe it? Isn't that crazy?
Goes fast.
Sounds insane. But yeah, this will be our final show for the year. Of course, next week on this day is actual Christmas Day, and we'll all be eating food and watching basketball. And actually, there's live football on Netflix for the first time ever.
That's right.
NFL has games on Christmas Day, so that'll be kind of fun too. But so we're gonna kind of take this as our year end episode and talk a little bit about how the year went, what we're looking forward to next year, our Christmas wishes um, for our hard activities, I guess, for this year, and a little bit about what went right, what went wrong. Um, yeah, so I'm excited for it. Hopefully, we get a nice live active chat tonight, and everybody can kind of share their Christmas wishes. But the very first thing I want to do is I just want to thank everybody for an amazing year. Charlie was just showing me some video from our shows last year, and it's amazing how far we've come, how much our facial hair has changed. Um, we both incurred a little more dramatic white over the year, so
Yeah.
um, that's kind of interesting to see. But yeah, it was a great year. Thanks to all of you for making the live a continuing success, and we will definitely carry the show into 2025. I was just talking this morning with Bree about, should we do a show on New Year's Day, and I kind of think we should. If it was New Year's Eve, I'd say nah. New Year's Eve night, no, we're not going to do something like that. But New Year's Day, that's just a regular day at night, that night. So if you're down, Charlie, I'm willing to do a show on New Year's Day.
Yeah, maybe. We'll talk about it. After
Yeah,
my little experiment today, we could always have the option of maybe putting together a best of show too.
yeah, I'll like a highlights video or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that would be great. I think people would enjoy that, seeing how seeing our live conversations where you didn't want a scanner, and then I didn't want a scanner, and then you weren't going to do listing, with Car Dealer Pro, and didn't want to do it,
oh
pay
my
per
gosh.
listing.
You are so
Yeah.
lucky I ran out of time today to get that clip recorded, because I did watch it on lunch today at work. I'm like, oh, I need to mark this down and go back and record this later.
Well, you could always just post the link to the video in here too, and anybody can go check it out on their free
That
time
is
if they
true.
so enjoy that review. But yeah, things have changed quite a bit in a year, and mostly for good, which is pleasant. That's always
Yeah.
what you're shooting for. So, but I think there's some really good things coming in this new year horizon as well. I have kind of hit a important mark with my online business right at the end of the year here. So, uh, and you have too. With you just hit 10,000 listings. That's a pretty
Yeah.
important mark. Um, so, we talked about over the year about, well, what do we do when we hit certain numbers, and we really focused on just trying to get the sales, because you got to make money before you can shoot for that next growth spurt. And I think we got a lot of that, and it's going to be fun to look forward to what's coming next.
It absolutely will. It's funny watching the things we were talking about last year at this time too, because some of it I watched and I'm like, whoa, what was going on? And then other stuff, it's like, yeah, that's exactly the kind of stuff we're still talking about today. But for example, we were talking about Flacco selling on the last show of the year last
Mm-hmm.
year. Everyone was wacko for Flacco again. You know what else we said? This was a direct quote from you at the time, and I remember this. Not just your quote, but actually this happening in the NFL. The words "Mahomes kind of sucks right now" were uttered on our
Yeah.
show last year.
Yeah. What's funny? What's so funny about Kansas City this year? I feel like they're almost just saving their energy, right? You know, you go to
Seems like
the
that.
one of the things that's really difficult in this sport to win 3 championships in a row is just the amount of games you have to play. You know, it's
Yeah.
such a physically wearing game, and then when you have injuries to significant players, how much that can drastically affect um, the outcome of your games and things. And it sort of feels like they're just like Mahomes hasn't really had to do anything. Like if there's
Right.
no pressure on him to do it, and they haven't had a great running game. They haven't really done much on offense at all. I think their highest scoring game was like 24 points or something. um, which isn't a lot of points to win every game but one.
Right.
So I mean, their defense has scored some point. Defense has been playing great, obviously, or they wouldn't be where they're at. But I sort of feel like they're just kind of like even Kelsey hasn't really done a whole lot. But why? If they can play all year, win all those games, and not really do anything, not really get hit, not really, you know, strain themselves to get to the victories, man, what a huge advantage once you get to the playoff. They still get the bye. They get, everything is falling in line. And I'm not like, go Chiefs, but just looking at it realistically, those guys know what to do too. It's not like this is the first time they've gotten there. And I know all the chat about well the refs favor them and this and that, but maybe that's true to some extent. But you still got to go out and play the games. You still got to win the games. Um, if you're going to break everything down to one or two calls, oh, this is the ref's fault. Well, then don't let the ref make the uh, decision in the game. Then go
Yep.
play the game and win it. If you win by 28 points, they're not going to be able to do anything to let the Chiefs win. Um, and the Bills prove that. The Bills beat them. So it's definitely possible. But yeah, it just feels like they have a lot in the tank. They haven't really had to use anything this year. And when it comes to the playoffs, Pat Mahomes breaks out in the playoffs. There's all these players in the history that are really good regular season players, Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, and then don't do anything in the playoffs. And then there's these players that are like, they might have an okay regular season here and there, but whatever. But once the playoffs come, man, they're money.
Yeah.
Um, talk about that a lot in baseball, right? You got Mr. October, and you have a lot of players that just really truly they have good seasons, but they really truly shine in the playoffs, World Series, whatever. And then you have the players that are the opposite, right? Have great regular seasons. Alex Rodriguez, right? Couldn't do anything in
Right.
the playoffs. Um, uh, Clayton Kershaw, right? He always had all these dominant pitching seasons, and then he just totally fumble in the wild card in the division series and things like that. So I mean, he did overcome that. But he did have a really nice postseason series when they won the prior World Series. But nevertheless, I still feel like the Chiefs have a lot left to go, and I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs.
Yeah, Mahomes just finds a way to win just enough to keep them where they need to be,
Mm-hmm.
when everything else is falling apart around them, right? Now, I saw him come up gimpy with his ankle last week. That may be a game changer when they hit the playoffs if that's still bothering him, but we'll see.
Well, like I said, he doesn't have to do a lot in these last couple games, and they're going to have a bye. So
Yeah.
I don't,
Carson Wentz going to
a
take him
twist of
home
an
the last
ankle.
couple weeks?
I mean, does it matter? Like, even if they lose, does it even matter? Not really. So I don't know. I don't think a tweak of an ankle, in this league should be something that keeps you from succeeding at a high level alone. But yeah, we'll go. I guess we'll see. We'll find out.
So
But that
tell
is
me.
that is a team that doesn't lose a lot of playoff games, and they have great coaching. They added Hopkins,
Good ad.
for some more receiver threat. Pacheco is back.
Adam
Collex,
doesn't watch
Collex,
a lot of football.
Collex. They, I think they're going to be pretty. I think they're going to be pretty good once they get there.
So change of subject. Tell me about this hat you're wearing. I can't quite make it out, but it's got an interesting shape to it.
So it's just a baseball hat,
Oh, okay.
and it's got a little,
It's got a tassel on it. Look
Santa.
at
Yeah,
that.
it's got the little Santa hat kind of thing.
I have
It just says
not seen that
Happy
one.
Holidays. I actually have two of them. I have one that says Merry Christmas, one that says Happy Holidays. This happens to be the Happy
Okay.
Holidays one.
Yeah, I've never seen the
Um,
baseball hat and the Santa hat combined together. That's nice.
that's why I had to have it, because I'd rather wear baseball hats than I would anything else. So
Nice.
they work well for me. Yeah. 'Cause
I
it doesn't feel any different than wearing like a regular baseball hat, other than this little thing bobs around once in a while.
you said we were gonna go festive tonight, so I did as well, and I thought, well, this is a late night show, so I can really, expose my spirit animal here. Look at
Oh
that.
boy. I'm glad you said spirit animal after you said exposed. And I kind of did the same. Here's my spirit animal.
Oh, look at that. Is that the abominable?
Yeah. And he's got his soda cup here,
Nice.
the tree. Yeah, he's all ready to go. He's got his Christmas sweater on. Look at those feet, man.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
So I think it's appropriate to be festive when you can. I think that makes things a little bit more fun. And last week we had the Kowakian monkey on, and we added some fun last week, but this week it was time to bring those holidays to life.
Yeah, for sure.
So before we get into sort of a year-end review and a year look forward, what did you do this last week? What happened? What's happened since the last show? Anything?
Listing, and more listing, and
Hmm.
selling, and more selling. That's really been it. It's been a good December so far. Some really good days. We made the scanner swap, so I've been catching up on some scanning I had stacked up and waiting for that. So, yeah, it's been a busy week. Trying to work on a holiday craft I've been working on too, and trying to get that done. So, and clearly I'm running out of time. So, pro tip for you: if you are going to do a wood project that's going to require some staining of wood, wintertime is not a great time to do it if you don't have like a heated garage, because it takes forever for that stain to dry in my basement.
Yep. Yeah. Well, there's too much moisture. Too much moisture in a
Yeah,
basement.
yeah,
I,
yeah,
yeah. Years ago when I definitely had more time than I do now, I would do like make things for gifts and stuff here and there. But yeah, now, I mean, I can't even fathom that. Just the time. And it's funny because people who don't understand working at home, and you kind of do because you work for like from home sometimes.
yep,
But there's a lot of people who don't get it, and they're like, "Well, why can't you do this? You work from home." And it's like, "Yeah, I work. Like, I can't just
yeah.
I can't just go in my back room and stain for 3 hours or what, I'm like, that's not quite and if I do, then I got to work. I got to get that work in at another time. So it
Yeah.
doesn't, I have to make it up basically just like anybody else. Maybe even more so because I don't eat if I don't make it up.
Which
Um,
actually,
but
speaking of that, we got some weather coming in. I get to work from home tomorrow
yeah,
for the first time in like a month.
I,
Yeah.
yeah, I tried to get everything done today. I did a big Costco run today. We host two Christmas things at my house. Basically both sides of the family on two different nights. So I had to go get some food stuff and stupid stuff like plates and napkins and things like that.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then I gassed up. Gas was really cheap. It was $2.55 today.
Really? It was
Yeah,
$2.79 for me when I stopped at the KQ or
yeah.
KT.
This was Costco. Costco's always a little cheaper, but um, it was insane there. It's insanely busy. It's always busy at our Costco, but today it seemed even more so. But I did that, and I had to a lot of gifts for friends. I have a lot of friends that live out of state. We have some family that's out of state that we do gifts for. So I was running to UPS and post office and
Yeah.
all that the last few days trying to get everything out. Today, to me, today is really the last day to ship. If you're going to ship after the 18th, you've got a pretty high risk that something won't get there on time.
Yeah.
So I made sure I got everything out today. And then my daughter left her jacket at the tutors last night, so I had to go to the school. Um, and that was tough. They didn't really want me there during school hours. Well,
Yeah.
schools are, because of what's happened recently, close to our home.
Yeah.
Schools are a little, have been a little bit more cautious, and I understand their caution. I'm not against, what they're trying to do, but so it was like, okay, well, I have to kind of. My point is that I had to be there at like a certain time. Like I couldn't just pop into the school and pick up this coat. My kid doesn't go to school there, so they don't know who I am. They don't even really know who she is.
Yeah.
This is just a teacher friend of ours who enjoys tutoring math and agreed to do it. So, but she walks out of the school last night without a good jacket on. I'm like, what are you doing? It's like 10 degrees outside. Kids are so goofy with that stuff.
Yeah.
And then of course, once we walk out of the building and the door shuts, it locks. You
Yep.
can't get anywhere. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm picking that up tomorrow. And then a couple hours into the school day today, I get a call. She's sick, so I had to go pick her up. Which she wasn't feeling good this morning, so I wasn't totally shocked by that. But yeah, I spent just a lot of time just running around. Yesterday, I went down to Appleton and picked up a collection, a small collection.
Okay.
Um, Mainly some just bulk modern stuff that I can make kids packs out of. Some shiny stuff. We like to do
Mhm.
shiny stuff in our kids packs. Um, and then bought a ton of stuff at the Green Bay Card Show. So I've been just kind of trying to pound that
Yeah.
out.
We had a card show to go to last weekend, and we
We
did some
did and
pickup
set up
videos. We
at.
both put some stuff out there, right?
Yeah, we did some pickup videos. Check that out on this channel and also JC3 Cards and Collectibles channel to see what we grabbed. But without the scanner, I haven't been able to get a ton listed. It's been the one by one. So, um, and then I had a viewer contact me tonight and offered me a 600 card. I think it's almost all football. I have to go look at it again because it was just something quick this afternoon that popped up. But like it's 600 cards, but like half of them are autos for $45 shipped. I was like, whew, I can't pass that up. So
Yeah.
it's obviously a lot of like no name autos and stuff like that. I know there's a couple Brewer on card autos, so there's some baseball in there too. But I love those like 25 cent, 50 cent autos. They're awesome and great sellers and just good stock to have in the store. Um, I'm 99.9% sure whatever the autos I get are autos I don't have. So that's the other
Sure.
thing I like about it. I can if I buy a big box of Prism Silver, shiny parallel stuff. I probably have a bunch of them, listed already. But this is going to be a bunch of stock that I haven't listed. Um, so I'm going to have fun. Hopefully, a bunch of them will be scannable too, and just get a bunch of new autos in there. I think will help me close out my 60,000 listings pretty nicely.
Nice.
I was at like 59.6 or something, and then this last week I just sold a ton, so I'm down to like 58.6 or something. I mean, I'm down like 1,000 or 1,200 listings, and I'm still listing, but just the stuff's been selling faster than I've been listing.
I
Good
actually
problem, good problem to have, but
I actually have a clip about your listing goal that you set from our year-end show last year.
nice. So yeah, that's still my year-end goal for this year, or right now anyway. I don't remember what I said back then, but I really want to finish out my 60,000 so that the new year I can really start with a focus on the second store and getting everything in there. I almost bought some Pokemon packs today. I had to run to Target. I needed a gift card. One of our final gift things was a Target gift card, and saw some Pokemon packs and stuff like that. And I thought, yeah, I'm gonna look some of these up, and there just wasn't enough there for me to. And I don't know the cards that well, obviously, so I didn't get anything. But um, something I definitely want to try to expand more. And I've been selling a ton of Garbage Pail Kids, so I really want to put a focus on that this next year too. Um, Building out some Pokemon or some Garbage Pail Kids. I should have bought more of those Clerks Garbage Pail Kids boxes that I bought at the National. Um, Remember, I got that box for like $28 or $29 or something.
Yeah,
They're,
yeah,
they're,
I
they're
remember
like they're like 100 to 120 online now.
that. Oof.
Secondary market. It's like, man, I could have bought a whole stack of those.
Yeah.
They might even given me a deal. Like if I'd have bought, the whole case or something, they probably would have gave me a good deal. But hindsight,
You never know,
um,
right?
you never know. So I've got plenty of stuff to list. I also have a viewer who sent me a big stack. I don't have them yet, but sent me a big stack of Uno base. My love for the Unos.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Good names, vets, Hall of Famers, MVPs, all that kind of stuff included. So there'll be Mahomes and Josh Allen's and all that in there too. But just some more stacks of that stuff. That those cards have done pretty well for me. So I got plenty of stuff coming in. I got plenty of stuff to list. I got to make my kids pack guy wants another box. He said sometime next week, but I'm guessing he might want it very early next week because this weekend, let's face it, this weekend's basically the last time to shop for Christmas, right? Since Christmas is
Yeah.
Wednesday. So I would imagine the mall's going to be very, very busy, and those packs will go. People will buy the packs as stocking stuffers and things like that. Um, so I'm trying to get it all ready before the weekend. So when he's like, "Hey, I need a box. Can you run that thing out here?" I can go and do that. Now, you mentioned weather, and that is going to be a huge problem tomorrow for us. We're supposed to get 8 inches of snow.
Eh,
So
five-ish.
five. Well, they always have a big range. It's like 5 to 8 or something like that. But it's supposed to be the slippery and blah blah blah. We don't have snow on the roads and stuff right now, which is actually not good. People think, oh, the roads are clear. That's good for when it snows. No, it's terrible because the roads are a little warmer, and then the first snow that hits, it kind of melts, and then it sort of freezes, and then people drive on it and it packs in, and and people aren't used to driving on the ice and stuff yet this year. So I think it could get complicated, and pretty sure they're not going to have the kids go through the whole weekend because Friday's not like a real day of school. At least not at my kids' school. It's like they wear pajamas and watch movies and do stuff like that. So
Really?
they'll probably just be like, okay, let's just not have Friday and get the kids all back out here. With the weather being as bad as it's supposed to be. So we're kind of preparing for that. I really didn't want to have anything that I had to do tomorrow, anything that I had to do on Friday. I wanted everything as best I could. I think I got to run out and get some dog food tomorrow. I'd probably do that before the snow, but really wanted to get everything rounded out and ready so the next 2 days I can just sit in my little bunker down here and list and ship and list and ship and list and ship. Probably just going to stick my mail in my mailbox for my carrier to pick up and not run to the post and do all that. And just get a ton of work done. I couldn't get a ton of work done the last couple of days, so it'll be good to play that bit of catch up too.
That's a bold move, Cotton. It's been a while since you just put it all in the mailbox. Last time you did that, you were having issues, eh?
Well, that was when I was using the small envelopes.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
So I'm not worried about it. She'll pick it up, and if she doesn't, then I'll have to run it to a mailbox. Is what it is.
Yeah.
But I think it's worth a shot.
Well, should we say hello in the chat quick before we move on to some of our topics?
I think we shall. So first one in, we got Brian on here. He says, "Merry Christmas. I'm back. LOL. Been redoing a lot of things to the 3 stores. 3 stores. Jeez.
Wow.
Not enough to explain. Have a good show." Well, we'll have to talk later. Art says, "No Christmas with Stu." Oh man. Good evening, all. Yeah, we're gonna give Stu the night off, right? I mean, you have to remember he secretly moonlights as a Santa reindeer.
Yeah.
So he's got some work to do next week. So we're not going to make him work Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. He's going to need his naps and stuff. So I think that's the best route to take for his well-being. We're really concerned about him. So Charlie and I could do it. Yeah, we're not holding anything up. None of this is our fault. But I'm pretty sure that Stu's not going to be able to make it. And we really can't do the show without Stu. He's so integral.
Right.
So, but we appreciate your concern. Oh, love this. Bill says, "Wow." True. True. Troy is here. I don't think you've been on a last couple of weeks, Troy. So welcome. Happy to have you here. Good evening.
He's been here. He's just been quiet.
Have he? Maybe that's it. That could be. That's what's hard. If I don't see anything in the chat, I don't know if you're here or not. It's really you can't really. They don't tell you the names of who's on unless they're talking. Boomslang is here. Yo. I like that. Just very simple. Yo. He didn't steal my 3 yos. He just went with yo.
Right.
1 yo.
Yeah.
So that's I feel like there's a joke I could put in there somewhere. Like what does Santa the card dealer say? Instead of ho ho ho, he says yo yo yo. Maybe? I don't know. All right, Matt is here. He says, "Merry Christmas. 6-day show at the Maplewood Mall in Minnesota." 6 days.
6 days?
Jesus.
That's crazy.
Starting on Thursday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It goes through Christmas Eve. That's crazy town. Sounds fun though. Depending on the snowstorm, it may not be too busy tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow's probably going to be your best. The first day is always the best day to hit anyway. But if you could get there and beat out some of the snow crowd, beat out the snow itself, that's probably going to be a big advantage for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because that dealer in Green Bay that I hit twice at the show and got some really, really good stuff out of it. I got a comment from a viewer that found like the Precious Metal Gems card in there and like a couple other really nice ones too.
Really?
And I'm like, dang it. That's the downside to setting up because you can't just, I could have hit that dealer right off the bat, but we had to. And I had a shopper, I had a customer at my boxes before the show even started, so I really couldn't go anywhere. But yeah, them's the breaks. Now, I found plenty of other good stuff, rare stuff, numbered stuff. But yeah, it was, yeah. I like finding those kinds of things. It's nice. Like in that Madison box when I found that 101, that was really nice. In a
Yes.
quarter, in a quarter box,
How
that
crazy
doesn't
is that?
happen. Doesn't happen every day. Atlas and Siri says hello, and then Green Goat. Is that a green goat? Oh,
Stu
Aqua
says
Goat.
hello back.
What's up, guys? Who brought the eggnog? Um, no eggnog. I've had a few iterations of eggnog. It's definitely not my thing. But I do have a special drink that I will be imbibing a few of on Friday night. Or Friday night? Or when are they? I don't know.
Is it a
I
Tom
have
and
so many.
Jerry?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I don't know. I have so many events at my house in this next week. So one of these nights, um, this group of friends is coming over, and my buddy makes homemade Tom and Jerry mix,
Yeah.
and it is mind blowing. So, I mean, you can get a bucket of the stuff at the grocery stores around here and stuff, and it's fine. The pre-made
Yeah.
stuff. I think a couple of the dairy companies make them and stuff around here. But the homemade stuff with the fresh egg fluff and all that, oh, it's so, so glorious. So I'll probably drink myself, 10 or 12 of those and have a nice nap that night. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, we just finished Cobra Kai last week, I think. We finally finished it, so we'll have to figure out what we want to throw up on the theater screens, but I'm just gonna lounge in there in my power recliners and drink some Tom and Jerry's and pop some popcorn, and it's gonna be amazing.
Sounds
My
like
favorite
it's
part of
time
the
for you to
holidays.
binge this season of Skeleton Crew.
There's actually I actually like Skeleton Crew. I'm caught
Yeah,
up
I
on it.
like it.
That's a weekly show. That's only one episode a week, but
Yeah, but
um,
there's a bunch of them out already.
there's three. Yeah, there's three of them out.
Okay.
Um, but I think we had to finish. There was one of the Game of Thrones things we were finishing, so we were gonna.
Okay.
I never saw. I've never seen any Game of Thrones, but there was this new show that came out based on like the raising of the dragons and stuff. I can't think of the name of it. But we started that, and we've been enjoying it. So maybe we'll finish that up. I don't know. There's always good Christmas movies to watch too. So Luna wanted to watch tonight. It was just her and I because Grandpa was playing Santa somewhere. So my wife was gone with her dad doing that. So it was just me and Luna. So we watched a Christmas movie. And her new favorite Christmas movie is Dear Satan.
I remember that one.
Uh, it's actually called Dear Santa. But what happens is that it just came out like a couple weeks ago. It's got Jack Black in it, who plays Satan. I don't want to give it away because you should watch it. It's pretty good. It's on Paramount Plus. But basically, this kid is writing to Santa, but he's dyslexic, so he writes out on the letter "Dear Satan," and when he puts it in the box, it gets delivered to Satan, and of course, his letter contains, all these things he wants for Christmas and all that. And so Satan shows up at his house and, you know, claims to be Santa Claus because he realized in short order that this kid was trying to write to Santa. Because of course Satan has to try to get you to give him your soul, right? So that's the whole plot of the movie is him trying to do stuff for this kid so the kid will give him his soul.
And calamity
But
ensues.
and calamity ensues. But the kid actors are really good in it. It's a ton of fun. It's a great little flick. So we watched it, I don't know, a week ago or so down here in the theater. And then, like I said, she wasn't feeling good. She came home today. So she just wanted to stay flopped on the couch. And I made her some dinner and stuff. And then we watched uh, Dear Satan.
Where are you at, by the way? You're not in your normal spot for the live.
No, I'm sitting over by my order picking area
Okay.
because I want to plug the phone in, and my desk is kind of in the center of the room, and the cord doesn't reach.
Gotcha.
So moved my lighting over here, turned the overhead lights off because I don't think they look good with the camera, and it's a lot of glare. And yeah, I'm set up right in my little nook here where I pull cards.
Perfect.
Yeah. So no eggnog for me. Plenty of Tom and Jerry's. Lots of Chex Mix. Yeah, it's. I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun. That's the part I like about the holidays is hanging out with the people I actually enjoy and good food and all that kind of stuff. Um, Presents and all the runaround and all the rigmarole stuff. I don't really need all. And I like the music. Um, that part's not my favorite, but I like all the stuff where get to hang out and do some once a year things. I only have Chex Mix once a year. I only have Belgian meat pie once a year. I only have Tom and Jerry's once a year.
Yeah.
So those are all some things that I really look forward to with the holiday. All right. How about you? What are you looking forward to over the next week? Let's get off the cards a little bit and just talk about.
Yeah. So we've got some things starting with family this weekend. So we'll be hitting the road a little bit to visit some family. And then I do have to work Monday, but then we get Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off, of course. So we will likely watch, the Christmas Story and maybe do the marathon of all three of those movies. Um, Christmas Vacation is usually on a lot, and we'll sit down and
Yeah.
watch that together. Um, and then after Christmas, I got a nice surprise. I am now off Tuesday through Friday next week. So I actually have a nice 6 day stretch after Monday that I'll be off of work. So I can just chill out and well, you said stay off the cards topic for a while, but there'll be cards
Yeah.
involved.
Oh, of course, of course. So what happens when you're off for a whole week and they realize they don't really need you anymore? Then now what?
So far that hasn't happened because when I come back, there's plenty of stuff I still have to do that nobody could do while I was out.
Okay, well that's good. That keeps you viable. So
Yeah,
smart move there. Yeah, sometimes I forget about that because it's like, oh, do you have to work this day? Do you have to work that day? And I'm like, well, I kind of don't have to work any certain day. I just, or hey, I want to do this thing during the day. Okay, well, I'll get up at 4 a.m. and I work, for a couple hours before I go do it. So
right.
um, you forget that stuff real quick when you're not on that schedule anymore.
When you're not working for the man.
Yeah, I'm working for the man. I drive myself harder than any boss ever would. So you've seen me at the National. I'm a worker. Boomslang says, "What scanner do you guys use, and what was the cost?" So we use the FI 8170, which is made by Ricoh. Who used to make it? That was not
Fujitsu.
HP. Fujitsu. It's
Yep.
the old Fujitsu company. But now it's Ricoh, the scanning and printing company, makes it. And I think it was what, like 750, 800, something like that. I
It's
think they've come down a
$800.
little bit. Yeah, like $800.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then a couple things to add to that. We have the 3D printed stands, the feet you attach to it, the catch bin, the little card flipper to keep the cards from getting caught up in the scanner when they come through, and so we have a couple of additional pieces that were probably another $25 or so.
Yeah.
Um, and I know you have the big giant add-on auto loader thing too, which is
I
another thing you can purchase.
do. I don't use it all the time, but I do have the Autoloader 1000. I should say the Autoloader 1000.
Yeah, that thing that's a prime beast right there, man. That's just too much. So that's what we use when we scan. And then Car Dealer Pro is the program that we use to list with.
Yeah.
So, 2.85 in Jersey.
Gas prices.
285. Well, that's still not bad.
No. As long as it's under $3 a gallon, I don't complain.
Yeah. I mean, and if it goes over $3, then what do? You still put gas in your car. So,
Although I was
is what it is.
telling my son just yesterday about when his dad was in high school and he worked at a local gas station, a full service gas station, if anybody remembers what those were.
Okay.
And gas was less than $1 a gallon.
Yep, I remember that. We actually had less than $1 at one point during the pandemic too, for a couple days.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like 98 cents or something, but yeah, I can remember that too. I remember in high school. I can remember when I would be out at a party or a friend's house or something, and I can remember having to, if I needed gas, I had to leave at a certain time because you couldn't get gas once the gas stations closed. Do you remember that?
Yeah, when it was cash only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like, if it was 11 o'clock at night, like you had to get your butt out there. You were never going to make it home because you couldn't get to a gas station. So,
When
yeah, it's
I was
funny how
working
those
at
things pop up
when
in
I
your
was
head.
working at that gas station, credit cards were starting to be accepted, but it had the little carbon copy that I
Yeah.
had to run it on all the
Yeah.
time. Yep.
And you would
And
still have to be open for that, obviously.
yeah,
So,
yeah, you would. And then, like, as a teenager, I remember, if you were able to put $5 worth of gas in your car, you were set for the weeks.
yeah.
It was no
Yep.
problem. Now $5 lasts me a day.
Yeah. Generally, my budget was like $10 a week for gas. Because when I got my first car, I was playing soccer out of town, like 2 hours out of town. So I would get done with school and I'd have to drive and drive back like every night, games,
Yeah.
practices, or whatever. So I was like, man, I was burning gas. But about $10 a week would get me through it, which is crazy. Um, yeah. So, but I also only made like $4 and some odd cents an hour. So some of it's relative too, Troy says being sick over the holidays sucks. Last year, me, my wife, and two boys all had COVID over the holidays. Ooh, that's not good. Um, I've managed to be fortunate in most of my life where I haven't had that happen. I did get a really bad flu once right over Thanksgiving, and I had to miss an entire family Thanksgiving
Mm.
one year, a few years ago. But yeah, you don't really get to write the timing of when you're sick. If it happens, it happens, and if a holiday happens to be there, some people think that would be better because, well, I'm off anyway, and I don't have to miss work and do all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's one of those things. Oh, when people say, "Oh, this is a terrible time to be sick," well, name a great time to be sick.
Yeah.
Um, if you do, you're pretty sadistic. So uh, I don't think it's one of those things. But I get what you're saying. Like it makes it worse when it's the holidays because you should be able to spend time with others, and you know, kind of steals from that, especially when it's your whole family. And COVID can be tough because COVID can be days and days, to get through it.
Yeah.
I've
For
had,
weeks.
yeah, I've had COVID a couple times, and the first one was rough for probably a good 4 or 5 days, um, and then took a couple more days after that just to recover. This last time wasn't as bad, but it was still a couple days. Um, so everybody out there, we all wish everybody health during during this holiday season. And I'm hoping I don't get what my kid has. It's a really bad like head cold. Like, oh, my head hurts, and she's got the voice,
Yeah.
and just feeling doesn't want to do anything, doesn't want to eat, and you're not comfortable. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, so hopefully she can beat it quickly. It's almost the best time to have it right now because she's got 4 or 5 days yet before we really have any activities. I don't
Yeah.
want her to miss. I wish she wasn't missing school, but at least it's towards the tail end here of this last week.
Yeah, we've got it kind of going around in our house too. In fact, if you ever get time to watch my pickups video from the other day, you'll probably hear it in my voice and a little bit of sniffles in that.
Yeah, 'tis the season. It gets delivered along with the gifts.
Yep.
Okay, Joe is here. He says, "So glad eBay finally stopped saying arrives by Christmas on my postings. Has no way to ensure USPS time." Yeah, that is mine. Still says that because I do 1 day shipping, but um, it's a bit annoying. However, and I will till the day I don't do this anymore, I'm gonna defend the Postal Service because I think they do a pretty amazing job considering what's going in and out of there. Um, Most of the stuff when I ship it, it gets there pretty quick. Feedback reflects that. I get a lot of great messages of, man, packed my order, shipped it, got it right away. So, and part of that is credit has to go to the Postal Service. Um,
I think I think they did take that down this evening though, Adam, because I'm just looking at mine. I don't see it now, and I do 1 day shipping as well.
oh, do you? Okay,
It was
yeah,
there
then
this
maybe they
morning.
did. Yeah, I know I saw it today. So yeah, if they took it down tonight, that could be.
Awesome.
Um, and maybe they did it too because of the storms coming through. They wanted to make sure that they're like, oh, this might even take a couple more days if that's coming. I don't know, but yeah,
True.
it's nice in a way to have it on there because people are still shopping for gifts, and if the post office can get it to them on time, I want them to buy from me. So that's why it's put out there. But that's why I said, early in the show here, I said, to me, today is the final day you should mail anything if you want it to be there by Christmas. Because even if you've got 2 days shipping on something, like I don't think I would wait till the 21st or the 22nd to get any of that stuff out. The 18th to me is really the deadline to
Yeah,
get anything in.
I had someone buy a card last night and message me saying, "Hey, can you ship this quick? Cause it's a gift." And I'm like, "Boy, you're cutting it close. I can have it out in the mail tomorrow. I cannot guarantee anything that happens after I put it out there."
Yeah, and that's the reality of it. And or what if there's a problem with it, right? If the delivery gets delayed, or you sent the wrong card, or it gets damaged, or it doesn't give a lot of leeway for somebody to make some sort of corrective action either, and still be able to have a gift for someone. So yeah, the procrastinators, that's just part of life. Not everybody buys gifts early, and do the best you can. I'm sure I got orders today where I'll be mailing them tomorrow, and these people will be expecting them for gifts. Now, the last two packages I mailed out today were actually UPS ground, and I'm a lot more confident that that service will get it there, uh, within a couple days versus a eBay standard envelope, which really doesn't have any sort of guarantee at all.
Right.
Troy bought a 200 card WWE lot for $40 with some rookies, superstars, and no commons. Well, that sounds pretty good. Charlie would be a better assessor of that than me with the WWE stuff. I just pick up stuff here or there. If I have Ethan with me, I have Ethan throw stuff in a pile for me. Um, but that sounds pretty good. That's what, 20 cents a card now. 20,
Uh,
50 cents a card? Yeah, 50 cents a
yeah,
card.
50 cents a card.
Um,
Yeah, I'd have to see what names are in there. Do you got some prisms in there? I'm assuming they're
no,
all paninis. So,
that's
um,
that's 20 cents a card. 50 cents would be $100.
is it?
Yeah, well, 200 cards. 200 times 50
Oh,
cents
you're
is a
right.
hundred
You're
bucks.
right. You're
Yeah,
right.
but yeah. So 20 cents if they're decent cards, decent condition. Stars. Yeah, I'd buy that. It seems to make sense. So good luck with it. Hopefully you do well. eBay estimates are based on the viewer's location, so when you are viewing your own listings, it's automatically going to show a shorter delivery time. Right, correct. I had a military base ship address. Oh, okay. And the custom form said you can only have 5 items to list on the form. The person bought 23 items. Hopefully, me listing it as a 5-pack and each slot was okay. Yeah, I filled out a lot of customs forms in my days. I even used to do it where it was the old paper ones where you had the one side was the sticky part you'd stick on the envelope, and the other side you tore off, and it was like your copy of it. I used to get stacks of them from the post office because I'd complete so many of those. Um, yeah, and customs has changed quite a bit in the last couple of years. Now you have to use the little like import export code um, for what the material is that you're shipping. You know, if it's like a sticker, you have to have like vinyl decal like the code or whatever when you're sending it. So it's really obnoxious. I believe if you sell something on eBay, they put the codes in for you, which is kind of nice. But yeah, you're limited as to how many things you can put on that form. You can technically have a lot more than 5, but it would be additional forms. And I think that's where eBay is like, no, we're not going to do that. It's whatever you can put on one form and that's it. I'm guessing, but yeah, if you put a 5-pack on it or something, you know, pack of cards or something like that, they're not going to care. They just want to make sure you're not sending stuff you're not supposed to. That's the main thing about it. I used to, when I would ship like challenge coins. Do you know what a challenge coin is, Charlie? Like military challenge coins.
No.
So they're like coins. Here, I can grab one. Coins with logos on them. So we use them a lot in advertising and stuff. And then
So I'd imagine maybe they're coins with like the company's logo on it or something like that.
yeah, it started in the military. Um, oh, jeez. I didn't think this would be that hard to do. Ironically enough, I grabbed a Christmas themed one, so that's kind of fun. So I've done a lot of custom coins. So they come in these little plastic pouches. But in the military, you would trade them. So, you know, if somebody did something nice for you in the military, you'd give them your military coin and vice versa. So this is a Star Wars one. You've got the TIE Fighter logo there, sort of Christmas-fied instead of the cog in the back. It's a snowflake, and the um, skull has a little scarf on. And then on the back, instead of the X-Wing targeting the Death Star, it's the X-Wing targeting Santa and his reindeer.
Okay.
So anyway, when I would do customs, I would put on there, you know, one coin. Well, when they read coin, they read currency, and you can't mail currency undeclared. So I would get stuff back, and I'm like, why won't they take this? So now I have to put like token or metal disc or something to that effect, not coin, because it gets rejected. So yeah, lots of rules with custom stuff. Not that much fun. I don't think we'll see that much with cards because most of the time we're just going to be shipping it to eBay, and they'll take care of it for the international. But yeah, if you're mailing straight to the international customer, customs is required. Alice says, I want to ask both of you what thermal printer you are using, what brand. Just curious. I do have a link in my videos of the one that I use. It's the Gios or Giose. It's Jiose. I use the non-Bluetooth version, so it's hardwired into my desktop or my PC, and I print that way. They do have a Bluetooth version too, so if you want to print from a phone, you can do that, or tablet or whatever. Um, but that's one I've had for, I don't know, quite a while now, 4 or 5 years, and it gets a workout. I'm printing hundreds of them a day, and it's been great. It's been a great little piece of equipment. The only thing is sometimes when you put a new roll or a new batch of labels in, depending on what labels you're using, like what company's labels and stuff, sometimes I have to draw the label back out and then refeed it. Otherwise, it doesn't print real well. But I haven't had to do that in a long time. Since using the UPS labels are so far superior, since I've been using those, I've never had to do anything with it other than just feed it in and hit print.
Yeah.
So, and I think Charlie, you used the same one, right? Because
Use the same
I sent
one.
you a link in the other one.
Have had no
Yeah.
problems with it. It's actually the second thermal printer that I purchased. The first one was a nightmare. I ended up giving it away to a friend, and they're still trying to battle with it.
Yeah.
But the Gios one, right out of the box, worked right away. Just a short period of time dialing in the settings that I like, which I know are different from your settings. But yeah, works great. And ironically, watching the year-end show last year, we were again talking about the thermal printer because you were trying to talk me into investing in a thermal printer for a while. You were really big on it, and we solicited feedback. We were talking about putting a poll out. What's the first thing you should invest in when you become a card seller? And nearly everybody was on board for a thermal printer, and it's what put me over the line to say, okay, I'm going to get one.
And it's just to clarify, it's a pretty small expense. It's 50 to $60. The link I have is an Amazon link. It is an affiliate link, so full transparency. If you use that link to purchase, it is an affiliate link for me, so I do get something for that. But yeah, I mean it's a very small expense, and then you just have to get labels, very regularly, but never buy any ink anymore. Now I've seen, some sellers go to like a laser printer and they just print right directly onto the envelope. And there's some merit to that. You're obviously still using ink, and then it's like, okay, well, I can use the refillable inks, and that's still cheaper, and then I don't have to get the labels and all this other stuff. But nope, I'm going to be a thermal label guy. I like the fact that I can take the label and cover up the openings of the envelope. To me, that has a lot of extra value. I don't want to have to take my envelopes and put them through a feeder. Some printers, you can only feed a few envelopes at a time, so you're constantly putting envelopes through. And I'd rather just put my labels in there, hit print, label prints out, stick it on, done. So to each his own, but that is to answer your actual question. Yeah, we use a Giossi. I don't know how you pronounce it. But it's JIOSE. And I can't remember the model number. I can't see mine from where I'm at, but if you go to my links, go to any one of my videos, not the live videos, go to any one of my recorded videos, and you'll see in the description field I have some links in there, some affiliate links in there. I actually have a link in there too for the scanner, so if you wanted to order a scanner, you could do that through there, as well as a link to Card Dealer Pro to get yourself 500 free listings. You just enter code $box on there, and they'll give you 500 free scans. But yeah, go through there, go through some of my links. You can click on those and see if those products would work for you. So I'm gonna take 2 minutes. I gotta go grab a bottle of water, and I'll be right back. So Charlie's gonna entertain you for a minute.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Well,
wow.
I gotta get to the kitchen on the other side of my giant basement.
All right. You go to
I'll be right back.
So I actually, I've got something about 2 minutes in length as we talked about our goals last year and what we talked about last year at our year-end show. One of the things we talked about was that I did my first video of the year shortly before our year-end show last year. I actually pulled the clip of that from last year to kind of compare that and see how that went compared to where I am at right now. If you haven't seen my videos, JC3 Cards and Collectibles out there on YouTube, you can see my videos out there. But it is interesting to me that I had just started last year, and a whole year later, like it's an entirely different world out there. So let's take a look at that.
Right? The rookie and the vet at what we're doing here. The channel's the same.
You can see little different setup for us back there a year ago. Can you hear the audio, Adam?
Switched over to
Yes.
Perfect. It's always tricky because on my end I can't.
Name for my store on eBay. It matches my store on eBay. And doing this live, at times some of the folks have said, when are we going to see some of Charlie's pickups? So I felt like there's a desire to see some of what I do versus some of what you do. So I wanted to give it a try, and I think I'll do some more of it.
You can see Adam was still going by Cooter.
It wasn't as painful as I thought it would be, but I think there's a lot I can improve on yet. I'm sure the first one you did wasn't everything you had hoped it would be either.
No.
But it drove me out of my comfort zone to do something a little different, and I think I'll do some more of it. In fact, I did enjoy going through what I picked up. You can probably tell if you watch it from the excitement in my voice sometimes, talking about some of the cards that I picked up, because you're kind of reliving that moment, right? So I have a couple subs, including you. I think I've only got like 7 views so far, but I'm also, brand new with it. Like my channel is brand new. Like you said, it's going to take a while. I'm not monetized with it. I think you have to hit a certain milestone before you can even do that, if I recall. So I'm a long ways from it, but it was good to get it started.
So I was very nervous starting out with my first video and super uncomfortable. It's amazing to me to look back now, a year later, and I've got about 80 videos out there now, from my setup to pickups to sales. I've tried a number of different things. I went from that first week where I think I said I had like 7 subs or something like that. So now I've got about 123 subs, I think. I've got 784 watch hours. A long way to go to get to monetizing, which I believe is 500 subs and 3,000 watch hours. But
it's 1,000 subs.
Is it 1,000?
Yeah.
Okay, I checked it right before the show and I thought it said 500. But
that's to be a YouTube partner.
Oh, okay.
For monetization, where they actually pay you for your videos, your video watches, it's 1,000. And then I think is it 4,000 watch hours? I think it is. So it's 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours.
Yeah. It takes a while to get there, whatever that number is. But I thought that was kind of interesting to share, because I know some of our viewers recently started doing some of their own videos as well. For example, Keith All, I don't think I saw him out there tonight, but he started doing some pickup videos recently. And, I could tell he was kind of feeling some of the same things as he was getting started. But what I'll tell you is you get more and more comfortable with it as you go along. There's really 2 paths to go. You can be yourself, or you can be some wild character,
Yep.
But just try to be authentic with it, right? And it'll be a lot easier if you can be authentic with it. Either you're that wild and crazy guy that's going to do those kinds of things, but that's really you, just amped up a little bit like a wrestling character, or just be yourself and try to share some knowledge out there. And you can do it too. If you've been thinking about trying it, I would encourage you to go ahead and do it. Just cut the cord, jump in the deep end of the pool, and put it out there. You'd be surprised at people always are nervous, like, oh, my friends and family are going to see this and they're going to make fun of me or whatever. They don't watch it. It's not your close
No.
circle of friends and family that watches it, you know?
Yeah, and honestly, consistency matters. So, like Charlie said, decide who you're going to be and then keep your videos in that method. But try to have some consistently, okay, I'll upload once a week. I'll do twice a week. I'll do this type of video, I'll do this type of video, whatever it may be. And not that you can't change it over time or do other stuff, but if you want viewers that are going to come back, subscribe and come back, they're subscribing because they like the videos that they saw. So you're going to want to keep that content. You know what still surprises me is in fact, I had one this week. I'll have somebody who messages me from about a video from like 3 years ago. And they're like, oh, I like what you said here. And I'm like, I don't remember what I said there. I have to like go back and watch it and be like, oh yeah, that was pretty good advice. Or yeah, oh, that was crazy what I said, So one thing that I find very interesting is your videos can be old and you can still get views on them. So that watch hours sounds like a lot, and subscribers is something else because someone has to subscribe in order for that to happen. But like watch hours and number of views and things like that, the more videos you put out, the more you're going to get, not just because you have new videos, but because people can still watch the old videos. I mean, some of my videos have like 9,000 views on them, 8,000 views on them. And that didn't happen in the week I put it out. That's happened over a few years. So that'd be a tip too. Try to make a video that's going to have some staying power once in a while. How to sell low end cards, or what I learned about selling low end cards, or the best way to do a listing on eBay. Things like that don't really go away, that people would always be interested in. Lots of people would be interested in watching. Are some good videos to do because you can get a lot of staying power. Now, when I do, okay, here's my pickups from last weekend's card show. How many people 3 years from now are going to want to watch that? Not as many as the ones that are going to want to watch. I had my best month ever on eBay. Here's how I got sales. That's going to always have some interest. So, if you're thinking of doing it, those would probably be my tips after, because I've had my channel now for, let's see, 2000, almost 5 years. Actually, I think it was 5 years in November. So yeah, it goes quick.
Yeah, and to Adam's point, you want to do some stuff that'll be evergreen, to get those additional viewers consistently over time. But then that also gives you some space to do the things you're more passionate about too. So like for me, it became the liquidity list, and at least once every few weeks, I try to put out an updated liquidity list where I go through the data on eBay sales in a different category and let you know who's moving the most, right? Which is fun for me to put that data together. And I use that information when I'm out there at shows too. So, but then I'll balance it with some of that other material out there every once in a while that, even when I'm not doing a video like liquidity list, there's still people pulling up those old videos.
Yeah, and that's why, you have to kind of find your niche with it, right? Because you're not going to be the only content creator in the space. And that's why I kind of started doing the sales day videos, because nobody else was really doing that. And I saw some pretty weird stuff. I thought, oh, this might have some interest. And literally, I have to pull the cards and do the shipping and do all that anyway. I'm like, I'll just record it, I wish I could do it every day. It's just too time consuming, and there are a lot of days where I have other stuff to do, especially Mondays where it's like all day shipping. But yeah, I love doing it, and those are still the videos where I get the most, hey, great sales day, I can't wait for the next one, or I really like your sales day videos. I get that feedback still regularly, so people still want to watch them, so I'll still make them.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good to have something that you consistently are known for, and then it's good to have some things that you can throw in there that just change it up a little bit once in a while.
Yeah, for sure.
So I just did. I just picked up this collection, and I videoed that. Me, the interaction of me with the seller. I started recording what was in the boxes tonight, what I'm going to use them for, because I have a different purpose for these cards than what I would normally do with my pickups. So I thought that might be an interesting video for viewers. So we'll see. So that'll be something totally different. And I had talked about it, I think, in a previous video that I was going to do this with buying a collection, and somebody said, "Oh yeah, I was binging your old videos." And I saw a video of you with a buddy. So me and Jason, back in the day when I first started my channel, went to a Packer card collector's house and bought a bunch of stuff off of them. And I did a video of that. So again, something that was a few years ago came up and was like, yeah, do another one of those. That was fun to watch. So kind of that pickers angle, right? Like you go meet these people you don't know, and then they sort of let you in their basement and digging through boxes, and
Right.
what can you come up with? And so yeah, it's fun. I got some decent video of like I said, the interaction with the seller, and now I'm just trying to sort of film what I actually bought, since some of it wasn't so obvious, and tell you guys what I'm doing with it. So hopefully I'll have that video now that I can be in my hole for a couple of days and not really have to go anywhere. Hopefully I'll have some time tomorrow to try to finish that up. I do have to put together an entire kids pack box, and that takes me a couple hours. So I've got a few bigger tasks that I really have to get done too. And I want to list and list and list and list. You can't sell if you don't list, right?
That's a true story.
The true story. All right, back to the conversation here. Johnny says, "Sup, fellas? What's up with you?" Who's the button card? Is that Trout?
Looks like it.
In his icon? Okay. The pictures are so small, it's so hard to tell. At least on my phone there. Max is here. He says, "No eggnog, man. Your taste buds are bad." I just don't like eggnog. I don't know why. Do you like eggnog, Charlie?
I was afraid to try it for years, and then I finally gave in, and I was like, "This isn't so bad." Like, especially they have some, specialty flavors and stuff like that. Right. To me, it's really not that different from Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but it's not as good as Tom and Jerry. What I like about Tom and Jerry is the fact that it's hot.
Okay.
And then when you put the batter and stuff on top, it kind of melts into it, and so there's definitely a different consistency and stuff to it than eggnog. But eggnog to me is like, it's very milky dairy kind of, and I'm not. That's not really my thing.
What is dairy-y?
Dairy-y. It tastes like a cow. And I don't hate it. I've had eggnog before, and it's fine. If that's what the drink is and everybody's having, I'll be like, sure, I'll have some eggnog. But I'm not like, oh, it's eggnog season. Like when my buddy's like, hey, do you want me to make Tom and Jerry's? I'm like, yes. So peaches on. Also, if your exposure to Tom and Jerry's is buying like the pre-made store batter, it's not the same. The homemade stuff, if you got somebody who knows what they're doing, is so freaking good. Nice and fresh. Brian says me and Jess will have some stuff for the next GOAT show, seeing that we'll be in Vegas when the show happens. Nice. Yeah, so we might as well put our plug in for that, since we haven't done that yet tonight. We are a little under a month out now for the GOAT show, and we're getting really regular inquiries on, can I get a table? Can I get a table? Can I get a table? So it's starting to fill up. We do still have some tables left, though, however, so if you want one, let us know. You can message me. What's the email address? I always forget. Is it Green Bay Goat card show.
Oh
something.
man, you gotta prompt me on this stuff. 1 second here.
I didn't think about it. Otherwise, the goat show Facebook page, you can message us on there, and we'll get back to you. You know, if you have any inquiries on it. But otherwise, if you just want to come and attend, it's free admission. We got free packs for the kids. For the first 40 kids that come, we've got we're collecting non-perishable food items for a local pantry, and if you bring in some food items, we'll give you a entry into a drawing for an autographed Sterling Sharp Green Bay Packers helmet. So we've got some good stuff going on. Charlie and I will be there doing demos of Card Dealer Pro and the scanner, and we've got some great dealers lined up. Hopefully, we'll get some decent weather. That's the one wild card for January in Green Bay, but it's going to be an amazing show. I'm looking forward to it. We had a hell of a time in September, so but we want to keep bringing them back. We got to make sure we get the tables booked. We got to make sure we get customers in attendance so that we can keep doing them. Do you have that email address? Did you throw it out there?
I don't. Unfortunately, the flyer
Yeah.
I brought up was from the past one, so I don't have it handy.
Well, I have it, but
I can
I'd
get
have
it.
to
You keep
probably leave
talking,
it.
and I'll get it.
Yeah, we just need the email address, and I can't remember what it is because
Yeah,
we have a
give me-
couple of
give me
them. There's
20
like
seconds.
yeah, there's like the GB Goat Show one. I don't want to give you the wrong one because
That would be
we started
bad.
a couple of them, and yeah, it would be bad.
Bad Adam. All
Yeah.
right. That email is thegoatcardshow@gmail.com. I'll put it in
The
the
Goat
chat.
Card Show. There you go. The Goat Card Show @gmail.com is the official email address for the Goat Show. If you want to contact us, a lot of people just reach out via our Facebook page, like I said, and that's fine too. We answer in any of those places, of course, and we'll get you set up. Tables are, by the way, they're a true 8-footer, which we've learned is not always the case at every show, even if they tell you it's an 8-foot table. They are $50 for the first table, $40 for each additional table. We do have a date reserved for the next show after the January show. We're not quite ready to put that out there yet because we have some contracts we got to sign, some other things, but we do have another date already reserved, and we're hoping to get all that booked and ready to go before the January show, so that we can just book everybody right away for the next show, and just keep it going and making it as easy as possible to stay on the Goat Show train. So, House of Dragon. Yes, House of Dragon. You're correct. That's the show.
What about House of Dragons? When were we talking about that?
I was talking about that show I was watching before we did Cobra Kai.
Oh, you were watching House of the Dragon?
Yeah, House of Dragons. Yeah,
It's a good one. I like it.
yeah. Santa is your father-in-law? Something like that. He plays the part anyway. Seeing that I'll miss the next Goat Show, me and Jess will have some stuff for the show as we'll be in Vegas when the show happens. Didn't I read that already?
You did.
And no Thrones, but Star Wars. Oof, Misa, no thank you. So have good taste in film either. Well, first of all, Star Wars is film. Game of Thrones is television. But yeah, I get what you're saying. No, I don't. The Game of Thrones type stuff doesn't really interest me. I don't like that time period and stuff and the way they talk and all that. But yeah, Star Wars is awesome. I like Star Wars a lot. Some of it is not so great too. Depends on who's working on the project. Joy says the food is my favorite part. Yeah, exactly. We've talked about making certain Christmas type foods at different times of the year, and I just can't do it. It's like, no, because I love the Belgian meat pie. It's my great grandmother's recipe, and every generation that's been making it has kind of put their little twist on it, makes it fun, and And it's like, yeah, you could make those in July, but you can't. That is a Christmas food. I don't make Chex Mix any other time of the year. I made 7 batches of Chex Mix this year, and I just do it
Yeah,
once
that's
a
pretty
year.
good. You brought some of that on Saturday. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Um, I make a gingerbread house once a year. Like it feels like there's just certain things that, for me anyway, that's what makes that the holiday special. And if you start kind of expanding on that, then it takes away some of that speciality. Max says December 26th. That's what I look forward to every year. Just want to get it over with, huh? I retire in 2 days. What? That's
Lucky.
awesome. Yeah, congratulations. Now you're just going to have a bunch of junk to do that you don't really want to do. So, have fun with that. Especially if you're married. But no, seriously, congratulations. That's pretty amazing. Some days that feels like an impossible future. Like, can I really just not work someday? That doesn't seem real. Hopefully you have other things you enjoy to fill that space. I'm assuming you're into cards, which is why you're here. And you'll have some fun with that and do some shows and be involved in a hobby and have some things that fill your day. Because I think that's important. I think some people retire and they don't know what to do with themselves, and that's not necessarily great either. Joe says he was at Walmart the other day and the claw machine had card packs as prizes instead of toys. I'm not surprised. I've been seeing it feels like cards are kind of expanding into other spaces in retail. Um, Even when I go down like the toy aisles now at Target, there's another whole section of cards. Like they never had them back by the toys. It was just that front,
Yeah.
aisle by the checkout up front. Now they've got card packs in different areas. And where was I the other day that I got cards? Oh, Five Below. We were at Five Below, and they literally had a sign in their front window that says, "We have trading card packs."
Really?
Yeah. So they had nothing great. They had like some tops and stuff like that, and then they had some Pokemon, and um, so it feels like there's more. Uh, it feels like there's more retailers that are like, "Hey, what about cards?" Think about GameStop. I went into GameStop the other day and bought some Cyber Cells. I really like the Cyber Cell cards. They had some Ninja Turtles packs, so I bought those. They sell trading card supplies. You can get like top loads and stuff. They sell blaster boxes. Look at Lids. Lids now has a little stand full of trading cards.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see more and more of cards being a regular retailer product. Kind of like we were kids and they had packs in all the gas stations.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to go that route. Because they are, more expensive and theft and all that kind of stuff. But I think we're going to start seeing more retailer. I shouldn't say start. We have started. I think we're going to see some expansion on that. So something I'm looking forward to in this next year. I know we didn't get to that yet, but it sort of alludes to that. Fanatics finally starting to get the licenses now. They're going to get the basketball license this next year, and I think they're really going to pump it out. They're going to have products everywhere they can possibly have them. So.
Yeah, we were talking a week or so ago. I came across the whole section in Fleet Farm too of trading cards, and not the repacks either, but actual manufacturer packs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean repacks and stuff like that. It feels like, I have always kind of been around, but I don't think that's what most people are looking for. I think they want
Right.
those, unbiased sealed packs where you actually have a shot at, anything that was being produced in that set. So we'll see. They do a job. Not sure I would say good though. I'm not sure who he's referring to.
I can't remember what part of
Uh,
that conversation that
I
was.
can't either. I see you changed your background. I see Santa sneaking a peek there.
He is, or is that Grandpa?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. They all look the same. They all look the same. Max says, need to go back to first grade math. It looks like your deals at card shows might not be as good as you think. Ooh, low blow. Depends. Depends on who your customers are. I found buyers for a lot of the stuff I bought already. That Roki Sasaki or whatever rookie that I found in the dime box, I got $8 for that today. I sold quite a few of the cards that I haven't pulled them yet because they sold today, but there's a couple in here that I had just sold. Happen to have the packs right next to me. Randall Cunningham rookie that I got for a quarter. I sold that for $6 today, I think. There's a couple other ones that I sold too, but yeah, sometimes it's a matter of taking a bit of a chance too. I like to, especially when you can get bulk discounts. So sometimes it's like, okay, well, maybe I wouldn't normally pay a quarter for this card, but if I buy like 100 cards and now I can get them for 18 cents a card, now I would take a chance on a couple of these cards and see if I could do something with them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the math is actually pretty simple. If I can buy something for 10 cents and sell it for $3, that to me seems like a pretty obvious purchase and turn. Some of them don't sell instantly. That's true. You know, it's not like you can just take the whole stack of them and sell them all right away. But you know that. I mean, there's not every card you buy right away turns instantly either. And sometimes I just want to try to expand my inventory. You know, it's like, okay, well, yeah, I want to buy all the obvious ones that will make money, but I want to try some of this product, or I want to try some of this player or this sport, just to widen, you know, my customer base. Sometimes that has value too, even if maybe you don't make as much on the card.
Yeah, I think he was razzing us over stumbling over Troy's wrestling buy when we were calculating the per card, and we missed the mark on the first attempt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, that was, yeah, I corrected it right away. I did figure it out, but yeah,
You did.
Yeah, it was, yeah. The math when I'm buying the cards at a show, pretty much it's that starting price is what I consider while I'm pulling through the boxes, and then whatever I work out for a discount is cherry on top. That's kind of how I look at it. I don't shop a dime box going, okay, I'm going to pay 7 cents a card and then start figuring out my margins on that. I'm figuring out my margins on the 10 cents. And now when I buy enough cards and I get them for 7 cents, it just helps me improve my margins a little bit. That's kind of, I don't know if you look at it that way, Charlie, but to me, that's been the best way to do the math. And it seems to be easier that way too.
Yeah, like
especially when you're on a time crunch.
Yeah, like you go into it like, what's the worst case scenario on this? Let's see if I can improve on that. But at least I know, even if things go sideways and I walk away with, you know, not much of a deal, I know what I can get a margin out of on this.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've definitely, you know, sometimes when you're buying, it's like, man, this is such a slam dunk, but not everything is like that either. So sometimes there's cards that I've missed on too. You know, there's a lot of times where I make a video of me going through boxes and I'm buying stuff, and someone will comment on there, hey, you passed on this card, and this card sells for $15, and you were in a quarter box. And I'm like, oh, well, you know, unless you're going to sit there and comp everything, or you know every card, which is not really possible. There's probably some stuff you're going to miss. And I found that, and actually that was something I pointed out in this last video, and a viewer even commented on it. I said, just because somebody else was in that box first doesn't mean there isn't still good stuff in there. And they might be buying different stuff than you're buying. So yeah, I've been in plenty of boxes where, you know, the other person has missed stuff. Charlie, at the National, I went through a bunch of non-sport boxes, but we were crunched on time because it was that opening day where you only have a couple hours. And Charlie went over there, and I never got to any of the pony stuff. So he could have just assumed, oh, Adam hit all these non-sport boxes, and not going to be anything in it. He found some really nice pony cards.
Yeah.
But in that same situation, you passed on some pony cards that were pretty good cards, or missed some pony cards that were pretty good that I then ended up buying. So yeah, it's to try to get all of it and make sure you cover everything. Especially, I find it more difficult at a show where I'm set up because I feel like, well, I can't be gone for like 5 hours. I can only be gone for an hour and a half or 2 hours at a time. Then I got to get back to the table because it's not fair to you or Caleb or anybody else that's there to have to man the table.
I found a solution to that. I pay Caleb to work the table now, so I don't feel like I have to watch my watch when I go to make a buy. And he kind of knows, hey, Dad's going to be gone for an hour and a half or so, but he'll check back in, and, so.
And he's pretty good with the customers and stuff and collecting the money, and I think to some degree he enjoys it. Hell, he sold more cards than we did, I think, this weekend.
Wow. Yeah, I think he did.
So, yeah, maybe that's the key. Maybe I got to toss him a few bucks and I won't feel so bad walking away, right?
Well, you often give them a Funko Pop when you have that stuff, and they appreciate that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think I think kids having work ethic should be rewarded because it's really easy to just not do anything. A lot of parents allow that.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids want that, and so a kid who wants to put in a little work, they should get something for it. That's how it should work. So, Keith is here. What's up, fellas? Hope all are well. Currently packaging my daily orders while watching. Win-win. Yeah, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do something while I was doing the show. It doesn't really work that way when you're hosting, but I'm glad you all can. And you should, because that's what I do when I watch YouTube, other YouTubers. But yeah, it's that's what I found is the most valuable reason to make content is to be background for when other people are working on cards. Honestly, sorting, packing orders, whatever. That's probably 99% of our viewings are probably during those activities for our viewers. So it's kind of interesting. I have a couple of viewers that I've talked to that is like, well, I never make the live because they don't want to. They want to watch it recorded later when they can play it at a time when they're doing other stuff, and then because we're mostly an audio show, we don't do a lot of visual. So it's the perfect kind of chat show to have on while you're listing cards or packing orders or whatever you're doing with sorting cards, anything like that is perfect while you have a show on like this. Hey fellas, hey Brandon, happy to have you here. Sounds like you are you might be moving on from some of the card sales. I think you were the one who posted you got a promotion today, so congratulations to you. Max says they look like drunk coins. You're referring to my challenge coins. Yeah, there's all kinds of challenge coins out there. They were started by the military. I made them a bunch of different ones for the Star Wars Club because obviously that's like space military. So that's why that kind of became a thing. But yeah, they're fun. People collect them. Some token kind of thing that you can exchange. All right, Barton says Panini 2020 and up. There are a few Prisms, Goldberg, Scott Steiner, Triple H, Austin, Roman Reigns, few numbered.
Good name. Yeah.
Sounds pretty solid. You should be able to get some stuff out of that.
I would probably bought something like that.
Yeah. Let's see. Someone bought some McDonald's Panini stickers from me, and I was missing one and was looking everywhere, and just found it stuck on my youngest bedroom door. That's awesome. Yeah, kids are kind of notorious for hawking your stuff a little bit. That is a situation that does come up once in a while. I had one yesterday. I couldn't find a card. Was it yesterday? I don't know. It was a couple days ago. It doesn't happen that often. My system's pretty solid, but sometimes it'll be in the wrong place, and I have to kind of research it a little bit and go find it. I had some Tim Tebow's I had to send out today, and one of the cards was not. I didn't have a bag number assigned to it. I'm like, I know these are skewed. I remember doing them, and it was 3 cards in the order didn't have skews. So I'm like, all right, I got to go back to the Tim Tebow's and find out when I bagged these things. And sure enough, went in the bag, and all 3 of them are in there. So, hopefully that's something you can solve that way. But yeah, if you truly have a card go missing, the only thing you can really do is contact the customer and say, hey, sorry, man, can't find it. I'll refund you, or do you want something else? And that's the best you can do. Hopefully that, like I said, that doesn't happen often. If it happens often, probably have to relook at, what your system is. But yeah, if your kid took it and stuck it to a door, kind of out of luck on that one. Can't really
reclaim that one.
Can't really ship it now. Oh, Bo corrected me. It's only 500 subs now. Yeah. Okay, that could be. It was 1,000 when I started my channel. So
back in your day.
Yeah, but I've been well over 1,000 for a long time, so I haven't really, haven't thought about it really. But it was definitely 1,000 at one time. Yeah, in my 6 years on YouTube, I've made like $200. Yeah, it's not, unless you really get the viral stuff or you have wide audience appeal type videos or high production values or something like that. Yeah, I don't know if people still have this idea that like you make $1 million as soon as you make a YouTube video, because that's definitely not true. But I mean, I consistently make a couple $100 a month. It's nice. It pays for some of my inventory buying, so that's the way I look at it. Offset some cost of goods. But yeah, not a. Oh, nope, I'm wrong. It's still 1,000. Ha.
Yeah,
so I was right.
So yeah, you're right. There's 2 500 levels.
Yeah, 500 is the partnership program. That's where a lot of people get it confused. There's a partnership program, and then there's the monetized program, which is 1,000.
They don't really call that out though. It's just like here, I'll show you. They have these 2 sections, but they don't have like a header that says, here's what you're looking at. Mm-hmm. So earn on YouTube, start your earning journey. And this is the first thing you see, the 500 eligibility, 500 subs or and 3 video uploads, and one of the following, either 3,000 watch hours or 3 million shorts. We'll let you know when you're eligible, and then you can apply. But then down at the bottom, it says a future milestone, continue to grow, unlock more ways to earn, including the option to show ads on videos. And then it's 1,000 or and the 4,000 or 10 million. So I personally look at this and say, okay, what the heck is this for? It doesn't really describe what this milestone is.
Yeah, it's from what I understand, and again, they didn't even have that when I started my channel. It was 1,000 subs, 4,000 watch hours or bust. They didn't have the partnership program, which is what I've understood they call it. But yeah, it's the 500 subs, the 3,000 watch hours, and then you can become a partner. And I think that just opens up some doors for you. Like you could do YouTube live, because you're not allowed to do live until you get to be a partner. I think you can do you can get sponsorships.
I'll bet you it's these 3 things they're advertising here: the memberships, the supers, and connecting an online store you can probably do at this level.
Correct. Yes. It just opens up a little bit where you can, it's to try to allow you to help grow your channel a little bit more so you can hit that 1,000 subs. But yeah, if I was a new YouTuber starting out, I would basically be like, okay, I need 1,000 subs and I need 4,000 watch hours, because really that's when you're actually going to be a YouTuber as far as revenue.
Yeah, that's the real target you'd want to be shooting for. But you can tell I haven't paid much attention to it because I know I'm so far away.
Yeah, until you start getting a little closer, it's harder. I'm at almost 2,900, I think. I'm at 28 something. I don't know. One of you guys can verify it, I guess. But yeah, so it just, I don't know. It kind of just grows over time, and then you have weeks where you only get like 3 subs a week, and then you have some weeks where you get like 10 subs a week. And it just kind of compounds a little bit over time too. Live streams help get the hours up. Exactly. That's why I said it's sort of a door opener to live streaming. What are your best-selling players non-sports cards for the fourth quarter? Good question. Happy holidays, guys. I would say non-sports. I'll take that one since I'm more non-sports than a lot of sellers. I would say probably Star Wars, Power Rangers, probably the 2 biggest ones. I'm trying to think what else. Garbage Pail Kids.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of Pokemon, but when I get Pokemon, it does sell, so I need to expand in that area. So I would imagine my answer next year might change a bit. It would, Pokemon would probably be more. Those are probably my non-sports. As far as players, that's an easy one. It's Brett Favre, number one. I am the Brett Favre seller, and people come to me for Brett Favre cards. And then probably my second player would be, I'm trying to think. Barry Sanders, I would say, would be my second answer. How about you, Charlie?
So, funny you would ask about non-sport because I just sold a non-sport. Well, it's a sport set, but it's a non-sport card in that sport set. And that's, of course, Santa cards have been going well for me. It's that time of year.
Yeah. Yep.
I sold a 12 card order of muscle cards sets, 1991 muscle cards yesterday. And those have been going fairly consistently for the last couple months. I've had a couple people picking away at all the ones I picked up. Let's see, what else for non-sports? Had some Beavis and Butthead going lately.
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead's been good for me over the years. Sonic has been big right now. He's got a new movie.
Yep. Few Brock'em Rock cards have been going out fairly consistently. And then Star Wars is always going it's intermittent. It's not like I sell Star Wars every day, but it's consistently in the mix. Sports wise, some of the classics, Nolan Ryan, Emmitt Smith, modern players. I guess a lot of football lately. I saw a TJ Watt prism today. Sold some die cuts. Jackie Robinson still goes. That he seems to be fairly regular in my sales. Paul Skeens is still hot. Any Paul Skeens I get seems to go out the door. Back to non-sport. Some of those Topps Nintendo Punch-Out cards that I picked up at the National have been consistently going too.
Yeah, I've sold quite a few different Nintendo cards too. Yeah,
plenty of Barry Sanders, like always. Steve Young's been good for me recently too. I seem to have tapped into some Steve Young collectors that have come back a few times.
Yeah, John Elway's been good for me. Ben Roethlisberger's always a good seller for me. Yeah, I'd say there isn't like you have to have this player. Most sellers have like their own little niche of certain cards that sell really well for them. Derek Jeter for me is I mean, I can't remember the last time I didn't sell a Derek Jeter card in a day.
Yeah.
I always have at least one. So, yeah, you just have to kind of figure out what your customers want and then stock that stuff. And you should consistently have sales of those players, those sports, non-sports, whatever. Troy says, I enjoy your pickup videos. Helps me what to look for at shows. I'm glad you didn't say it helps me know not what not to look for at shows. Um, yeah, yeah, and that's kind of why I do it. I just try to show like my thought process to some degree of why I'm buying certain things, and that Roki Sasaki or Sasuke, whatever his name is. A lot of
Sasaki.
people would, a lot of people wouldn't even think about that player, but we track like what's hot and who's going to be coming into the league, and you got prospect season for baseball coming up, and like a card like that makes sense. Um, I, I tried buying some. I've been buying more Juan Soto. Lately, I've been selling a bunch of Cody Bellinger because Bellinger got traded today to the Yankees, or today, I think it was today. So his stuff's been picking up because as soon as he get traded to the Yankees, he's basically, from what I understand, going to be taking Juan Soto's batting spot, um, which is a pretty good spot on a pretty major team. So I think there's some more attention going to him because of that. So you have to kind of just look at like what's currently happening. Olympics are coming up, so I'm going to buy some of these cards. I've been talking about the Sonic the Hedgehog stuff for the past few months. I bought big lots of it. And he's got another movie coming out. I say he, like Sonic the Hedgehog is like a real person, but
He is. What are you talking about?
he is. Star Wars consistently has new shows and movies in the works and video games and things like that. So that always stays relevant to, you always want to look for Star Wars stuff. So like I try to just show in those buys, what my thoughts are. And what's interesting about it is as soon as I post it, I always expect to get comments of, oh, you missed this or you shouldn't have bought that, because it's real easy to like nitpick somebody's videos.
Yeah.
And I don't get that very often. So that tells me one of two things. My viewers are people who actually want to see the video and enjoy the content, and maybe both, some of both, I guess. The job I did going through the boxes was a pretty good one because it hasn't been nitpicked apart. So take it with a grain of salt. I think either way, it's a positive for me. But yeah, I enjoy making them as long as people still want to see them. I'll put them out there. Charlie too does a good job showing pickups and stuff. And
Yeah, I don't.
one thing,
Go ahead.
the thing I like the most, for coming from the content creator side, the thing I like the most is I literally just film it and then upload it. That's one of the things I love about those videos. Versus I record a card show, I gotta edit it, I gotta do voiceover stuff, I gotta change volumes, I gotta try to take out music if there's music in it so I don't get demonetized. There's more effort to it. Do an intro, do an outro. The pickups videos are super easy to. I got to go through the cards anyway. It's pretty easy to just show them in a video and upload it and be done with it.
Yeah, it is a commitment. Like I don't do as many videos as you do, but like the pickups video I did the other day, that was the majority of a day I spent working on that. Right, like I did a long form video that time. It was a little over 2 hours. So it is a commitment, and then if you're going to edit it, like I typically do add some things after the fact. It's you lose a day of listing more cards, right? So I am curious, Troy, if you watched my video or anybody out there who did that, I switched some things up in this last one. I set up things a little differently. Curious for some feedback on how that was received. if everything still looked okay, if you were able to see the cards I was going through, because you know, in the past, I had an overhead camera right on the camera on the card, and that was all you could see. This time I had it set up
Yep.
on a card stand with a little background, and the card itself I know would not have been as big. So I'm curious feedback if people still could see cards I was going through well enough, or if I need to tweak that a little bit more. It certainly was a setup that was a little easier for me, but that doesn't do much good if the people that want to watch it can't really see the cards, right?
Yeah, and you know, I used to do more editing. I'd put in like clips from movies and doing stuff like that. And sometimes I want to do that and I have time to do that and I'll put something together. But for the most part, I just try to keep it to the content. And like Charlie said, this is a grind business and it takes you time to get listings and do shipping and all, especially while we're still in growth mode. Um, so it's really hard to say, okay, it's more worth my time to make a video than it is to list and sell and ship. I don't make the money on the videos that I do on the cards. So, and the, if you're gonna be a YouTuber, unless like I said, you get lucky and you become some big YouTuber, you have to kind of do it because you enjoy it, because it's not a big paycheck. And it does take more time than what you'll ever get rewarded for. I shouldn't say ever, but for the most part, you won't get rewarded, especially for a long time, because it takes a while to grow a channel. Besides, I mean, look at Charlie. He's been doing it for a year. He hasn't even gotten a paycheck yet
Yeah,
on it. So,
it's a labor of
you
love.
know, it's, yeah. And I'm not picking on him. I'm just saying that's how it is. I mean, I went through that too. You know, it was a good year of making videos and stuff before, you know, I even got something. And then it was like, still took me a couple months. Even when I got monetized, I didn't get a paycheck right away. I had to, because you have to earn at least $100 before they give you any of the money. So still took me a couple months just to get to $100 to even get a payout. Now I get one every month. You know, I'm over that number pretty well every month, but it just takes time to get there. And then like I said, you have to start weighing out how much time is it worth it for me to put into those videos. You know, what kind of value do I get out of that? And I think certain videos you can, like if you're doing videos of, oh, here's my, you know, experiences at the National, or here's me, you know, let's say it's me and Jordan Love hanging out. Well, I might want to put a little more into that video. You know, that might have more of a wide draw, you know, things where you could get a wider audience, especially if you're trying to get more subs and stuff like that. I had a big spike last year, like right at the beginning or this year, really, right at the beginning of the year. So like last January time, where I changed my format a bit and I was on the camera more and I was doing more like instructional videos and things like that. And I'll likely go through a period of time where I want to do some of those again. But then there's always chunks of time where I'm like, I don't really have anything new to instruct on. You know, selling low-end cards, it hasn't really changed a whole lot in the last couple of years. So if I make a video on how to list quickly, I'm still pretty much doing it the same way. I can't make another one of those. So just amount of content, you know, just isn't really there to do that. And like I said, other times it's just I want to make videos that I feel like are just quality content and don't have anything extra in them. Yeah, it's more than what I think most people realize it takes to do. Like Charlie said, it can take you half a day to make one video.
Especially if you don't have fiber.
But yeah, the upload process alone, yeah. Yeah, when you're doing like 4K and stuff like that, I mean, everything just takes longer. And yeah, the fiber definitely helps. I can upload, like that last pickups video, I think it took me like 8 minutes to upload the whole thing, which is actually pretty long. I do notice that sometimes I get throttled based on what time of day I'm trying to upload. So YouTube must get bogged down at certain times. So even though my speed is pretty fast to upload, theirs isn't, has been slowed down for whatever reason to accept the video. So
My
it's not
my
just your
pickups
end; it's
video
also on their
my
end.
pickups video this week was 3 hours to upload.
3 hours, Jesus.
3 hours.
Yeah, no, I haven't had anything anywhere close to that in recent times. I've had a few that have gone really quick, like seconds, which is
Yeah.
crazy. Um, shorter videos, probably 15-minute videos or something, but still 4K. If you can upload something in 30 seconds, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Matt says he'll be looking for some Penix cards in the bargain boxes tomorrow. Good luck with that. Hopefully you find some. I haven't seen Penix in any bargain boxes, and that was before he became a starter. So if you can find some, yeah, I think it's a good thing to jump on. I did find some Bo Nix college cards. I found some Cam Ward. So I did a little bit of football prospecting this past weekend, which tends to pay off for me, just with some Bowman U stuff and that kind of thing. Some Dylan Gabriel. Trying to think of who else. Yeah, I would say if you can get Penix. I mean, I don't know what a big Penix card is to you. I don't really buy big cards, but yeah, if you can get some kind of deal on him and try to get the flip, you got to hope he plays well. If you're going to
I
buy
mean,
him,
everybody wants a big Penix, right?
I wasn't even going to go there.
What?
I heard
What?
it. I heard it in my head when I said it.
Why wouldn't you want a big Penix? If you're gonna get a Penix,
I'm just
you might as well
sad
get a big
because
one.
mine is only 3 inches from the ground. Anyway, yeah. So I would be a little bit careful with that. He hasn't really been proven, and if he gets in there and plays that first game and throws a dud, he could be left holding the bag too. So I'd be more of a seller right now on Penix if I was holding stuff than I'd be a buyer. But I get where you're coming from. Could be some opportunity there. Things work out well for him. Just a reminder here, the goatcardshow@gmail.com is our official email to contact us about table reservations. That's also the email for the PayPal address to book a table. But don't just send PayPal. Please contact us because we'll allow you to pick your tables. We have a floor plan of all the table locations and things like that. The show again is January 12th at the historic Riverside Ballroom in Green Bay.
And I see I neglected to put a space between the email and the start of my statement. So just to be clear, the email ends at gmail.com.
Absolutely. Is there Karate Kid cards? Not that I have found, but I want to. I would love to have Karate Kid cards. Every once in a while now, I'll go back to toy aisles and stores and just hoping that there's some new non-sport sets that have come out, and it just lags. Kind of in the mid 2000s, we got a whole bunch of really cool sets. Like there was Cryptozoic was a company that came out with a bunch of stuff. They did some Ghostbusters and they did Charmed and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like there was a bunch of really cool sets. And then it just died again. And they didn't make any, licensed non-sport stuff really. Other than Star Wars. Star Wars has always had sets. Star Trek will get a set once in a while, over time, but a lot of the newer properties, Rick and Morty have some cards. Those are pretty cool, and they have like the stickers and the scratch and sniff inserts and stuff. Whenever I find those, I try to pick those up. I would love a new Beavis and Butthead set. That show is back and it's still amazing. So, some new Beavis and Butthead would be really cool. South Park had a set years ago, you know. But yeah, a lot of these modern, even The Simpsons. The Simpsons has had a lot of sets over there. I mean, Simpsons been on the air for 35 years, which is insane. But
It is crazy.
they've had a lot of good sets over the years, but there hasn't been a new Simpsons set in like 20 years. So, and they've had 20, I shouldn't say 20 years. It's probably like 10 years, 10, 12 years. But they've had a lot of seasons since then with, some good storylines. They could make some new cards, new characters, things like that. So I'm hoping that, as the card boom kind of continues to go here, I found some Adventure Time cards, card packs this weekend at Hot Topic. So I thought that was interesting. I didn't buy any because they were like $9 a pack. Hot Topic's prices are not very good
Yeah.
on anything. It's mall prices, right? Small store mall prices. So I passed on getting the packs, but I was like, okay, cool, Adventure Time cards. Yeah, I think there's tons and tons of cool properties out there that could have cards made. What I'm noticing with most of the non-sport pop culture type stuff, what they're making is instead of non-sport cards, they're making little squishies and backpack hangers. It's all blind package like cards, but instead of a pack of cards, you get like a little squishy figure or a little plushie or something like that. That seems to be more popular with the kids now than like when we were kids. We wanted the cards. So until that that fad kind of fades, I don't think that a company is going to make a blind package squishy figure and then also packs of cards. But we've even seen that combination with some modern cards. Look at the Ushis, the DC Comics packs I was buying. You got a little pack of cards and a little squishy figure. And I saw there's Harry Potter ones. Actually, Five Below had the Harry Potter ones. Ushis. So same thing. You got a little pack of cards on top, and then there was a little Harry Potter figure attached to it. Those Star Wars booster pack or blaster packs that I just opened, they had from the Resistance cartoon. They had 4 or 5 packs of cards, and then you got a little like backpack hanger charmy thing. Actually, I have some right here. You got one of these. There's like 12 different ones. So this is one of the droids that was in it, and then it's got the little backpack clip on it. So even when they make card packs, they're putting this stuff in it to try to get that sale. The cards aren't really selling all on their own. So hopefully we'll see that change and we'll see more. I would love to see some new music sets. Would be cool. Plenty of musicians since like Yo MTV Raps was around, and the Pro Set music cards and stuff. So that would be cool. How does Taylor Swift not have a trading card product? That seems insane to me. She would sell tons of them, sticker albums, whatever. So I'm hoping, the Cybercell company has come out in the last year. They were kind of introduced at the National. I bought some cards from them. They make really cool stuff, and they're doing interesting sets. You got the Cardsmiths, which just did like a Dragon's Lair set, which was a huge video game, arcade game when I was a kid. But Cryptozoic has done Chainsaw Man and Naruto and Hello Kitty and Ninja Turtles and Sonic the Hedgehog and did I say Hello Kitty?
You did.
Okay. What else did they do? Nightmare Before Christmas. So they've got a bunch of cool card properties, and I'm hoping that they'll expand too. And those cards have sold really well for me. I can sell one base card out of the pack, and it pays for the whole pack. So, yeah. So we'll see. I know that was way more of an answer than is there Karate Kid cards, which the answer is no. But you got me. You got me on my tangent of why do these things not have cards? And Karate Kid is on that list for me.
I would buy Karate Kid cards. I would even buy Cobra Kai cards.
Yeah. So yeah, that needs to happen. They need to have more card licensing out there and make cards, and yeah, that would be adorable. I would do that. Both are filmed. Technically, that's incorrect. They don't use film. Haha. They are recorded. I think is what you
I'll let
meant.
you guys have that conversation.
That's funny. Also, they speak Ewok on Star Wars. A little bit.
All right. Is that what the Ewoks speak? Is that what it's actually called?
I have no idea.
Ewokian?
As far as I know, they don't have a determined language, but it's the teddy bear picnic, and they're just kind of squawking at each other. So,
maybe Copilot will help us. What language do Ewoks speak? Speak a language called Ewokese.
Okay, well that makes sense.
There we go.
Well, yeah, that's probably right because like the Hutts speak Huttese, which is also a language that the Rhodians speak, which is like Greedo. They speak Huttese too. I actually had a whole book on Huttese to learning the language and stuff. It's crazy. There's enough fans that they've taken like these little things, like little languages, and they've like built out a whole alphabet, and like they made it into like a real
lot
thing.
Goes into
just
the
like,
languages of Star Wars.
Just like Klingons, though, Star Trek, same thing. There are people who speak Klingon, like learned it at like it's a real language. Boomslang says, so what you're saying is we are headed for another junk wax period? No, I don't think so at all. And I just want to see them in more places, but you're never going to see it in the bulk like you did. You're not going to see cards in a gas station. I don't think so. So I don't think we're going to see like now, have cards been overprinted the last couple of years? Yeah, I think they were. Productions have come back down now, though. So, I think those periods of time just kind of ebb and flow. If they can sell more cards, are they going to print more? Yeah, sorry, it's a for-profit business. So you just kind of have to watch how much you buy, in the years where there's more printing and things like that. But no, I mean, are you going to see packs of Prism in a gas station? No. Are you going to see packs of Prism at J.C. Penney, in the toy? No, you're not going to see any of that. So there might be a couple of products that you'd see, expanding into other types of retail that are not normally like card hobby shops, but never to the, I can remember going into card shops when I was a kid, and you'd see stacks and stacks and stacks of Pro Set boxes, like $5 a box, for 1990 Pro Set football. I don't see that happening. Found Treasures says, hello, Found Treasures. Oh, USPS was the job comment. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like anything. There are good USPS employees. There are bad ones. It's also a government entity, so that's of course going to add its challenges to it. I don't really think the government's ever the most efficient thing at jobs, but yeah, I think again for what we pay and what we get for it, I feel like I'm a fan of the Postal Service. I do not want to see it privatized, by the way. Yes, you're correct. We originally said 50 cents a card, and then I corrected it to the 20 cents.
Like the Social Distortion song says, I was wrong.
Thanks for the assist, Charlie. Yes, Charlie was the one who said 50 cents. Blame it on the Charlie.
I was talking about the
quarter boxes are 50. Oh, right. That's 50 cents. 50 cents. That's different. Yeah. Diamond quarter boxes are quickly disappearing here. What's your plan when sellers no longer have them? I've not run into that situation at all. I'd probably go back to what I was originally doing when I was getting inventory. I'd buy like lots on eBay and on sports lots and things like that. So I'd get cards for a quarter a card. It would just be through a different avenue, or I'd buy collections, or I'd buy big box lots on, Facebook Marketplace, which I've been doing that more. I've been looking at Marketplace more. There's going to always be a way to get like bulk discount cards. Now, if quarter boxes entirely go away and nobody prices anything that low, that probably means cards are selling for more. So then maybe I would just go to dollar boxes, because since there are no quarter cards are all, $2-3 a piece. I don't know. The market will move. If prices go up, so will the prices in discount boxes. What's saying everybody is flipping stuff? My dad spends money every show looking through value boxes, and he isn't looking to flip anything. That's true. There are plenty of collectors. The gentleman who bought from my boxes first thing in the morning was not a flipper. I actually saw him at the dealer where I did most of my buying this past weekend, and he bought a bunch of cards, baseball cards from there too. And again, wasn't flipping them. It was just stuff he wanted for his collections. And yeah, there's plenty of buyers at shows that are not flipping. I hear that all the time on like channels and stuff where they're like, well, everybody just wants to make money. That's not true at all.
No.
At least not in my experiences. A lot of the buyers at the shows we're at are looking for cards. They collect cards. So yeah, I think if anybody finds a really good deal, they're probably going to buy the card. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to resell it, though. So I think that's a good point. If quarter and dime boxes disappear around here, cards will be dead. I don't see that ever happening. Yeah, I feel the same way, Max. I don't understand why that would occur, because everybody's always going to have stuff they don't want that doesn't sell well, and they just want to get rid of it. And dime boxes might be a little bit, as prices of things adjust over time. Dime boxes aren't quite as prominent, but quarter boxes, 50-cent boxes, dollar boxes, yeah, that stuff's always going to be around. Now, what's funny about that is when I got back into this and I started making the videos and started realizing I could make decent money flipping, nobody put value boxes out. Everybody had their showcases with their PSA 10 base Zion Williamson Prism card that they priced at $500 in it. That's all anybody wanted. So I went to quite a few shows. If you look at some of my earlier videos where I went to shows, once kind of COVID was letting up and shows could happen again, I struggled. I went to a bunch of shows where there wasn't discount boxes, and it wasn't because you couldn't sell cards at a discount. It just was, that's just not where the hobby was at that time. Everybody was trying to get these big paydays out of these, modern junk wax cards, in my opinion. Is basically what a 2020-21 Prism Zion Williamson rookie is. When there's like what, 38,000 or 40,000 or 50,000 of them graded PSA 10, like that's not good. So yeah, I would say that quarter and dime boxes can kind of go away if the hobby's not focused on value buying, but they'll always come back and they'll always be around. Challenge coins are basically AA coins. Yeah, kind of. Oh, drunk coins. Now I get it. Yeah, you're right. Now when you get them for AA, it's because of your sobriety terms, right? So you get your 6 month, and they actually call them chips. Those aren't technically coins. I think they're actually plastic, or they're plastic or clay or something like that. They're more like poker chips. But yeah, these are actually metal, and they have diamond cuts in them, and 3D embossing, and I have some that have like stained glass windows, so you can actually see through it when you hold it up to the light. And there's ones that actually, I put that. Here's one I did that's actually so you can do some pretty crazy stuff with coins now. Challenge coins. Here's one I did. where it's the signet, right? So anybody who's watched The Mandalorian, so this is the outside of Baby Yoda's crib, basically. But look at the nice, 3D modeling and stuff on that. And then this one actually, if I can get it to do it, this one actually opens, and then Baby Yoda's inside. Baby Yoda, or Grogu, as his actual name is called. So this is, a nice hinged, looks more like a pocket watch, but it's technically a challenge coin. So, and I've seen ones with slide outs where, something will slide out of it, and yeah, there's some cool stuff. I've done glitter, glow in the dark stuff. I mean, sky's the limit nowadays. Yeah, some good fun with it. But I don't make any of that stuff anymore. I'm just getting rid of what I got. So don't ask me.
I never noticed this before, but I feel kind of violated when you go to dial on or move things with your finger.
I have to, because that's the problem, is the camera goes out that far, so it sees me touch it.
Like, why is Adam poking his finger at me in me?
You're welcome, Charlie. Brad says, "Guess I'm going to the wrong shows." If you're looking for value buys, I would say you are going to the wrong shows, because if you're not finding any, that must be the wrong show for you. Hopefully, there's other shows you could get to that maybe have some of that. But yeah, otherwise you're gonna have to find it. If you want to do low end cards, you're gonna have to find a different way to obtain that inventory. We run into that sometimes with people who have no card shows by them. It's like, well, then you can't buy them. Then you can't buy them that way. Like, you have to work with what you got. Peter's here. Says, blasted my 50% off coupon out to past buyers last Friday. I woke up to a $1,500 sale day. Took me pretty much all weekend to pack pull. Found out real quick how unorganized my inventory was. Yeah, that'll wake you up there. Yeah, coupons do a nice job. Promotions, there's lots of ways to get your stuff out there, and the buyers will come. 1,500 sales day is a great day. Yeah, and then that's why I really caution new sellers, don't just get a scanner right away and dump 20,000 cards in your store, because what if they all sell? You're not prepared for that. It takes you some time and some experience, and a way to have your inventory well organized and accessible and things like that. Your shipping process down. Get some inventory on there, get some sales, and sort of build up to that, so that you're not slammed all at once and then don't know what to do. Because once you make the sale, now the real pressure is on, because you gotta ship it out.
As you like to say, though, that being said, organization was one of your big goals for 2024. So
it was, and it is.
How do you feel you did on that? Because I know you made a lot of changes.
Yeah, I made an amazing amount of progress. I don't think I'm going to get the entire SKU system converted over by the end of the year, because it's just not the right thing to focus on right now. I need to focus on listing and sales. This is a hot sales time of year. But definitely in the beginning of the year, I don't have that much left. I have like 2.5 drawers. And every day I sell a few out of the non-skewed spots anyway. So there's always stuff leaving the drawers that, that aren't bagged and dated yet, skewed, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, that's allowed me to really start to focus on my next period of growth, because if I didn't nail my inventory system down, there's only so big you can get before it just takes up all your time just managing that. For sure.
Yeah, we've talked in the past about how you need to be streamlined in your operation when you ratchet up those sales.
Yeah, because I think the sky's the limit as far as how much money you can make. Sure, because you can keep listing cars and you can keep selling, and it should keep compounding. The more you do. Look at what Burbank does with their sales. But it's the scalability that's the issue, right? You have to be able to get all those listings on there. You have to be able to ship all those sales, and deal with the customer service and all that. Unless you can pay a bunch of employees or have a big operation, it's just you. There's only so much you're going to be able to do scalability wise, until you can get your processes, even better managed. Then you can start looking at scaling up again. Keith says, thanks for all the subs, by the way. I've enjoyed recording so much that I refuse to open anything until I'm recording. I hit 12 subs this week, so watch out. I did sub. I found your channel. I did sub this week, so I have only watched one video, transparency, but I plan to watch some more. Now then, like I said, I'm going to be stuck in my hole due to weather for at least the next few days, plus the holiday coming up. Plan to get through some more of them. If you have any questions or you need any help or tips or anything, feel free to reach out. Be happy to share my experience with it. I mean, I do pretty regularly on here anyway, but glad you're having fun with it. If you're having a good time, keep doing it, because it's not a payday. So it has to be something that you, like Charlie said, a labor of love. You gotta have to want to do it a little bit. And one of the main reasons I started it is I just wanted a recording of my cash purchases. So as weird as that sounds, I like filming my shows and my pickups because I can show me getting the cards, handing money over to the seller, and it just gives some proof of my cost of goods. I think that's, if you're going to have a bit of a cash buying business, that's a smart move. All right. Let's see. Maybe for views, I should just do the Mahomes voice. Oh God, don't do the Mahomes voice. That's no good.
Sweet Travis Kelce right here.
Yeah, no. Unless you're Kermit the Frog, I would stay away from that. So, but yeah, that's funny. Where are you at, Brad? Brad's in Central Wisconsin. You're in Central Wisconsin and you can't find value boxes? What shows are you going to?
It's complicated.
Yeah. Max says same thing. What shows are you going to? Point, Mosinee, Green Bay, Appleton, Madison, Janesville, the Goat Show. Come on, Max, you got to mention us. Etc. All have diamond quarter boxes. He's right. I can't think of a show I've been to where I haven't found some sort of value box to get into. No, you can change your strategy based on the show that you go to too. So I've been to some shows where like quarter boxes are not really a thing, but I found 2 for $1 boxes or $1 boxes or $2 boxes. You just have to up your value purchase and get to some bigger boxes. And that's not a bad move anyway as you're building your business, because it's better to have some, I don't want to say bigger cards because you talk about $1 card, it's not really bigger, but yeah, I can get this card for 10 cents, but you can only get so much out of that versus a silver older prism insert Brett Favre card. It's going to be a little bit better market and a little bit more money out of it. So, maybe diamond quarter boxes aren't going to be your best buy at some of those shows anyway. So sometimes the best buys I've gotten were out of like $2 and $5 boxes, at a show. So Stevens Point show is limited. I would agree with that. I've been to the Stevens Point show twice, and I don't know that I would be going to another one. I struggled both times I went. First of all, I went in the summer, and it was like 1,500 degrees in there because it's like right on the backside of a kitchen at like a Lion's Lodge or something like that. And I'm not dissing the show. I'm just saying for me, I wasn't comfortable right away when I got in there, and then I really struggled to find boxes that I could buy out of. So I can kind of understand what you're coming from there. No, I haven't been to a Stevens Point show in, gosh, probably over a year now. And it is a good drive for me, so I would have to be motivated to go anyway. It's not close, but sounds like they're still not getting the discount sellers. Mosinee, I have zero luck. I quit going there. I've never been to the Mosinee show, so I can't share any experience with that. Now, Max says he's bought out boxes at both shows. They were both great for cheap stuff, so he didn't have luck at either. Yeah, so, I guess it depends on what you're buying. Now, Max is doing, Pokemon. I don't really buy Pokemon, so it probably depends a little bit on what you're looking to buy, too. It seems like the same inventory in dealers. Maybe I will get down to Madison, weather permitting. Madison is a great show. I always have really good buys there. Max says, limited time I get to leave my table. Always find great stuff. Maybe look harder, I guess, or not be as picky, or get there sooner. You can also turn a $1 box into a 50-cent box if you make a play on the whole box. So you can sort of devalue somebody's what they're trying to sell too, if you're willing to buy the quantity. This last like 35,000 or 40,000 count buy that I did, those were 50-cent boxes, and I got the cards for 8 cents a piece. About, I mean, I didn't count them all, of course, in the boxes, but assuming based on the number of count boxes, I paid about 8 cents a card. So I took those from, you're talking about quarter and dime boxes. Well, those are 50-cent boxes. I want cheaper than that. Well, you can get that. You just got to buy enough.
Yeah.
So, you could be right. I only chase non-modern football. That's pretty limited buying view. So yeah, that would probably add to the challenge of finding stuff at a show. Yeah, not going to be much of that at a show, much less in cheap boxes. No, that's not entirely true, because I get a lot of. So basically, what he's talking about is like 80s and 90s football, or because he didn't say vintage. He just said
it depends on what you're considering non-modern.
Right, he said non-modern. So to me, non-modern would be like 90s inserts. Here's a pretty sweet Norm Van Brocklin in his military, the military insert cards. Those sell pretty well. Norm Van Brocklin, a huge Hall of Famer. Cornelius Bennett, rookie, from '88 top. Here's a Edge card celebrating Marino's 400th touchdown. And I'm just grabbing a really small stack of stuff that I found laying on my desk here. 90s insert. These were all dime cards. That's why they're not sleeved. So, even if you're just 90s, 2000s football, I still don't have a problem finding those cards at shows, for the most part. '87 Topps Peyton at the last show. Yeah, I find Peyton all the time. Bettis, Bledsoe, Baselli, Waters. Sure, those should pop up pretty commonly. I want more than what I get from them. Privatization would fix a ton. Easier to make changes. The problem with the privatization is I think the cost would go way up. And that's a problem. The only cheap way to ship for what we do, I'm speaking for like envelope shipping. I made a video on this a while ago. Do you remember this, Charlie, when I made a video about Amazon becoming the new post office? Like they would literally just, okay. So I had this idea back when I was just making videos on whatever I felt like talking about. I made a video on Amazon being the mail carrier. So basically, like, Amazon brings packages to your houses and stuff. You'd basically hand them your mail, and then they would deliver your mail for free if you're a Prime member. They would take your mail and deliver it because they're delivering the packages anyway. So the envelopes wouldn't be like much more effort for them. And they would get that prime member fee out of it, right? So it's like deals at Costco. Well, yeah, you get great prices, but you got to pay an annual fee too. they're making up some of the price difference on you giving them $100 a year to be there, right? So I made a whole deal on that because Amazon has their own trucks. They're in your neighborhood every day. Why not just do the mail? Now that is something that I could kind of see making some sense and keeping it cost effective, but like a company to start from the ground up to do postage, that's a huge, can you imagine the logistics nightmare it would be to set something like that up and then look at rural houses, right? Let's say you're a house where there isn't another house by you for like 15 miles or something. Do you think that company is going to bring a letter out to your house and not charge you extra? Which right now postage is, a stamped envelope is the same no matter where you live.
Right.
But I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess. I mean, our taxes basically pay for the post office anyway. They don't have to make money. It's basically just a service that, that's being provided. So, and people talk about, oh, well, the post office is losing money. They're a bad business. Well, A, they're not a business. And B, it's a service. Like the military loses money too, but you don't consider them like a profit and loss company. They're just a service that the country provides for our protection. It's the same, it's just another branch of it. So the post office gets a budget every year from the government, and they try to keep the cost as close as possible so that it's affordable for everybody to send a letter, mail a bill. So privatizing that could put some people out that maybe couldn't afford it, wouldn't get that service anymore. 90% are flipping though. I would say that might be a little high, but I would say a good portion of people are still looking to buy and sell for a profit at a show. I'm a set builder and want to complete sets from my birth year to present, and I've been collecting since 1971. That's pretty awesome. Internet's a great place. If you can't find a lot of what you're looking for at shows and things like that, just type it in and you can get it sent to you. But I think half the fun is finding it, right? So you like going to the shows and digging around and trying to find some cards that you need for your sets. I can respect that. Brandon says, made it for the end of the live show. Rarity for me. Hope everyone is doing well. I very rarely make it to the end of the live show too. So,
yeah.
So I understand what you're going through. We appreciate you being here. It's funny because I feel like our biggest audiences are always during the winter, and I guess it's because there's nothing else to do. Which I was like, oh, we get a bigger audience, and I'm like, that's not, that might be a bad reflection on us. I don't know. No, we love it when people can make it live. I will always post these recorded because I want anybody to watch it whatever time is convenient for them. But it's just more fun to have the chat and have some activity and stuff, and include more voices in the video than just me and Charlie and the Stewarts. Stewart, do you remember that? Do you remember the Californians?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yes. It makes me. But Stuart, you can't go south on the 101. That's such a great skit. They don't have a lot of great modern skits, but there's a few, and that's a good one. That was a good one, and that's actually not that modern. That was like early 2000s, I think. When that was around, because that was like Kristen Wiig, and
I would say it was in the 2010s.
2010s. Okay, that could be. I don't really watch it anymore. That's way past my bedtime. 8:30. Unless it's on before 8:30, it's not going to happen. Wouldn't know on the coins versus chips. Only drink eggnog, not animated cat and mouse juice. You got to have a good Tom and Jerry. If same for Same for promoting your eggnog. I'm promoting my Tom and Jerry's. I love them. Joe says Charlie reminds you of Burl Ives. Wow, that's interesting.
Well, that night, Rudolph left his friends in Cornelius, Yukon, because he knew that he couldn't put them at risk any longer with the abominable chasing him.
Wow. You got the whole thing memorized, huh?
I've seen that.
You gotta do his little laugh. Damn the snowman. What does he know? He's never been anywhere.
Silver and gold, silver and gold.
Your show is in Green Bay. I didn't forget to mention you. Well, okay, but you said the Green Bay show. There is a Green Bay card show, and there's also the Goat show. I gotta get my plugs in when I can get my plugs in, Max. You know this. I'm talking about buying sports when talking with Brad, not Pokemon. Bought a 5-row out in Green Bay this weekend too. Oh, I didn't know you were buying like bulk sport. I know you buy some sports cards, but I didn't know you were buying bulk. Matt's best shows by far are the monthly Minnesota show in Brooklyn Center and the Madison shows. Stevens Point and Mosinee shows are definitely a hit or miss. Yeah, I haven't had the best experience with the. Like I said, I've never been to Mosinee, but I've been to Stevens Point twice and left a lot to be desired. I've done better at other shows that are closer to me, where I don't have to make the drive. So I don't really do that. Never been to the monthly Minnesota show. Maybe we can get out there someday. We'll see. Madison, I try to make at least a couple times a year. I always do pretty well there. 90s is modern for me. That's what I was thinking. Oh, so you want vintage? Oh no, this is Max. Never mind. I thought it was the gentleman who was talking about the value boxes. Because I was like, if you want vintage and you're looking for quarter and dime boxes, you're not going to find any of that. Yeah, vintage is over a quarter for commons, even in most cases. I still get excited walking into the LCS to go through the bargain boxes, but I haven't done so in a while. Almost tops buying a mystery collection on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, it's fun. I think that's the thrill I get out of it too. You never know what's going to be in that box, and you can find those gems, and it's payday from there. So, and I buy at my LCS too. That can also be if you're not getting stuff at shows, try out a card shop and see if they've got something you can dig through. I don't pay for my shipping. Put it on your buyers like every other modern business. True, but I really don't want to raise my prices a lot either. I've had to do that the past couple of years with just inflation stuff. Didn't say there weren't negatives to privatization. Costs have went up astronomically with the USPS yearly. That's also true. Let's see. It's just eggnog with booze. No, it's not. Eggnog and good Tom and Jerry mix are definitely have differences. Your card shows a Green Bay show too. Yes, it's called the Goat Show. There, see another plug.
Another plug.
I'm getting good at this. I'm not buying bulk sports. I'm buying out dime quarter dollar boxes. Right. Best Point is the second best show I do buying and selling by a mile. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't have very good luck there. Let's see. KI used to be good. However, with 3 shows now, in between each show, it watered it way down. Yeah, well, I don't know. I did really well at the KI this time. I've always done very well at the KI show buying. It's probably my best show. Probably still my best show. Even better than Madison. The thing that draws me to Madison is non-sport. I find more non-sport there than I do any other show. Eau Claire was pretty good though. I got a lot of vintage Star Wars.
Yeah.
In Eau Claire, but that was kind of an anomaly. If that one dealer wasn't there, I wouldn't have gotten that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I guess it depends somewhat on what you're looking for. And that's kind of the beauty of having multiple shows too. Okay, well, this show is good for that. This show is good for that. Well, then go to the show that works for what you're looking for. So yeah, right now we plan to stay quarterly with our show. We might go to bi-monthly at some point. We'll see, but that's not in the very near future. Because I agree, I didn't think there was going to be a Green Bay show every month. Kind of disappointing to see that. I was hoping that like KI would stay quarterly, and then just once in a while in the summer or something have another show. But it looks like it's going to be pretty much every month. And then ours will be sprinkled in quarterly along with it. But hopefully we're not all getting the same dealers either. We're trying to get some. We're trying to attract some dealers that maybe want to do a different show than like KI or what's the other one, Radisson. So we'll see. Maybe we can build a little bit different dealer pool too, and just make sure that some variety stays out there. I bought a guy's collection about 3 years ago. I got it for $500 for around 200,000 cards. That's a good deal. While sorting through it, I found 593 Upper Deck SP Derek Jeter cards. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I wish. I'm surprised 3 years ago you got the cards at that good a deal, because cards were super hot then. Yeah, I wish I could find like the pre-COVID deal in like 5,000 count boxes of Brett Favre for like $100. With inserts and numbered cards and refractors and like all kinds of good stuff. That's not a thing now. That's not something that I really come across. But yeah, that's a hell of a buy. That'd be a no-brainer. I mean, $500, even if they're all penny cards, for 200,000 cards, that's whew, good job. Brandon says, nice grab. I agree. Geez, Max. TJ drink is eggnog with rum and brandy. What am I missing? The fact that it's hot makes it very, very unattractive for me. I can tell you I've had eggnog and I've had Tom and Jerry's, and they don't taste anything alike to me. So maybe it's just because my Tom and Jerry's are made with a homemade recipe. Maybe that's the difference. I don't know.
Maybe when you had the eggnog, it didn't have rum and brandy in it.
Well, that might be too. I don't know. I'm not against I didn't hate eggnog. It just wasn't like, I'm not like, oh, I gotta have an eggnog. Versus the Tom and Jerry's, I like those. I get excited about those each year.
The difference is too, you've been talking about, you're getting fresh homemade Tom and Jerry mix.
Correct.
Which won't compare to a store-bought carton of eggnog either.
Correct. Yes, and that's why I was trying to stress that was made that better. If I could set up in Janesville every time they had it, that would be too, but scheduling is tricky nowadays with so many shows. Yeah, I actually did okay at Janesville. I don't think it was my best show ever, but I definitely found plenty to buy there. I'd do that one again at some point. You should really try some booze. Warms the bones for the winter. Yeah, I think that's one of the things I really like about it too. It's a good winter drink, because I don't know that I would want warm booze in July, but in December, where I live, it's nice to have a warm drink. Let's see. No booze makes any drink better. Yeah, if you're not using good booze, definitely. And I don't drink very much alcohol at all. But I feel like certain drinks, it does enhance it. I've had I guess Irish coffees once in a while I'll have, so that's like something I would add booze to. But Max is talking about like hot chocolate, soup. Oh, you just don't like anything hot, is what you're saying. No, I like hot stuff. I like coffee. I like hot cocoa. I like, pretty much hot drinks. I'm into it. But it's funny because Luna does not like anything hot either. So I'll go to get like a coffee, and she'll be like, "Can you get me an iced blah blah blah?" And I'm like, "That's not coffee." And or I'll make her a hot chocolate and she'll put 2 ice cubes in it. And it's like, why don't you just drink cold cocoa then? Why do you need it hot? You're just gonna cool it down. So anyway. All right. We are getting late here.
We are. We haven't gone this late in a while.
Yeah. Well, last one of the year, so we put some special time into it. Anything else you want to add? Anything we missed out on?
Oh, we didn't even get to our goals for 2025 or how we did on all our goals for 2024. I guess that's going to be a New Year's show, huh?
I guess so. Yeah. we got sidetracked with some of it, which happens pretty much every episode.
We got all kitty wampus.
Got a little kitty wampus. Yeah, we can do that next time. Maybe we'll start off. I think we've had some shows where we've really started off with our topics right away and we've just gotten into them and then went to the chat, and it seems to be a little easier when it's a topic we really want to get in. So since our next episode will be in the new year, we'll make sure we do those topics first. We'll have some goals written out, some how 2024 went for us, stuff written out, and we'll start with that and then invite the chat in after that. I think that's a good plan, don't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thanks again, everybody, for watching. Thank you for a wonderful 2024. We look forward to continuing the show in 2025. I want to thank Charlie for being on here every week. He does not have to do this. It's been a pleasure. It's great having you on here. I think we have great conversations. Thank everybody that participates in the chat, everyone who watches this recorded. If you have not, please give this a thumbs up. YouTube likes it when you like videos. It helps this get shown to some more people who might be interested. If you know someone who would be interested in this, share it to them. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can see all the future videos. And if you're not joining us live tonight, in the future, just so you know, every Wednesday, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, we are live doing this broadcast. And we'd love to have you join us live because then you can be part of it. You can be part of the chat. So see if you can make that your New Year's resolution to get on the GOAT Live program, whatever you want to call this show. Live with Charlie and Stu. But that's all I got for tonight. Everybody have a happy holidays. Celebrate. Don't celebrate too much. Be safe. Enjoy time with family and friends. Cut the cord. Don't list cards for a few hours and go enjoy yourself. The cards will be there when you get back for sure.
For sure. Reminder, no show next week. Enjoy a quiet, peaceful Christmas with your friends and loved ones. Other than that, peace out. Take care of each other.
Now, one thing we might do is we might upload like a summation of some older shows, or I might upload something else on Christmas that it won't be live, obviously, but we might put something on. Or if you do want something to view that night, you can. But I don't want anybody to feel like they're going to miss a live and have to get on Christmas. So we'll see. We'll see if we get that shaken out or not. But always have a great Christmas. Have a happy New Year. We'll see you in the new year on New Year's night, 8 Central Standard Time. We'll see you then. And remember, you can't sell what you don't list.